me a headache, and that headache is now continued.
Yeah, but you should just not be a terrible human. That headache comes from laughing.
Yeah.
And I saw what you were laughing at.
Yeah. But no, I wasn't. The headache wasn't from the laughing. It came from coughing afterwards.
The coughing came from?
Laughing too
The laughing, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard you in the bathroom just now have two particularly extravagant sneezes.
I feel like you get to a point in life where I feel like when your problems outweigh your not problems, and when you sneeze, you have to scream at the same time. Because
There was some loud screams.
There's not like primal screaming isn't really socially acceptable anymore.
Yeah.
Or like crying in public. So just letting out a scream, let out all your problems in one big go, and you're done.
Escape says the intro's getting reversed. Yeah, so the intro video that we run, for some reason in my home studio, I always had to run it through once before I then went live and ran it through, and then it was smooth.
Yeah.
And then in this studio, we never had to do that. We just ran it once and it was fine. But now it looks like I'm going to have to start doing the same pre-stream checks that I do at home now.
Oh.
I don't know why. It's ever since OBS updated, it started getting worse. I don't know why. So trust me when I tell you, Mr. the Stick Monkey, the computer is not struggling. It's a fucking powerhouse. The computer's not struggling at all, but for some reason it's just got worse. But I don't know. I'll fix it. All I'll do is I'll do a pre-stream run through every stream like I do at home instead. It's an easy habit to get into. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this lovely Thursday here on the sunny south coast. It's beautiful outside. So beautiful, in fact, Joe's got a hoodie on. You just put your jumper on.
I put it on because when I get cold, that's when I cough.
Yeah.
Because I have the lungs of a small asthmatic bird.
Yeah.
So I have to keep my internal temperature high now until the Rona is cleared out, basically.
Fair enough. Chat, don't worry about the intro. That's our end. It's not your end. I'll make sure it's fixed in future. Don't you worry. And the weather outside is, in fact, a complete polar opposite to GW's reveals, because the weather is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
The weather is good, not dog shit.
So I woke up this morning and there was like lots of messages in my WhatsApp, and I was like, "What the fuck is everyone talking about?" And I was like, "Oh, it was the reveals today." Or I said today, it was the reveals this morning. And I was like, "Oh," and someone was like, "New blah blah," and I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to see this." I went over there. There's no blah blah. There's nothing.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, team, off the bat. The title is exactly what my thoughts were once I woke up this morning and saw what had been shown off last night. Now, there is a couple of exceptions. Let's get the good stuff out of the way. There's not a lot. The good stuff is mostly the fact that we've had Eldar and Krieg announced. Now, Eldar is good for me because Eldar. Probably bad for everybody else. We know a particular individual who's involved in writing codexes who plays Eldar. I'm having some fun with them at the moment. I'm sure that'll be ruined soon when they're completely overpowered and win by turning up.
That book is not going to come out balanced.
That's not going to come out balanced.
It's going to come out more turbo than Sisters.
Eldar are typically quite unbalanced when they come out anyway, and the fact that that fucking prick plays them means it's probably going to be worse. So I'm having fun with my Eldar at the moment. That's probably going to go away. So it's a bittersweet. Like I'm kind of really excited for it because new book, more rules. I won't have to play detachments. Just reroll a hit, reroll a wound. That makes me super happy. On the flip side, they'll probably be busted, and I'm going to have to work really hard to take shit units just so we can still have fun on the channel. So that's exciting. The other one that's really exciting for me personally is they said Krieg. They said Krieg.
That's
right?
the rumour I've been spreading for fucking ages.
They said Plastic Krieg.
Since Christmas, I've been like, Krieg's coming.
Yeah.
Krieg's coming.
So they've said Krieg, that gets me fucking excited. Plastic Krieg gets me super excited, so I'm very happy for that. That's good news. That's about all that the 40k fucking reveals got, really. And then the other stuff that they showcase, we'll go through the articles in just a moment, by the way. I'll bring them up on stream. But the other stuff that was beautiful, the new Sigmar stuff that they've shown off. They go, we see your Blood Angel Space Marine releases, and we see your Inquisitor Cotiers releases, and we're gonna top trump you.
I kind of feel like they shouldn't have announced anything other than the Sigmarite stuff.
So the Sigmarite stuff goes, I've seen all your Space Marine stuff, you've done a shit job, here's what it could have looked like.
Yeah.
And it's fucking incredible.
The new Griffin model.
Absolutely incredible. Mr. the Kyle was in WhatsApp this morning whinging because he stayed up till 2 o'clock to watch the reveals. I was like, big and forth, like, at the moment, I feel like every single fucking event they go to. So let's talk about this for a minute, actually. Firstly, press buttons, okay? I want to put that down. I've got some I've got some points I want to make, Joe. I feel like at the moment we're in a position where they are now flat struggling to generate any real hype whatsoever, and I think there's a couple of reasons. One of the biggest reasons is that there's two reasons, but one of the biggest reasons I think is that they seem to have this incessant need at the moment to do some big reveal far too frequently and at every single event they attend.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much. It's like having fucking 25 birthdays in a year. You'd get bored of them. You would.
Yeah. Cut. Right. I'm going to start off by saying I don't enjoy slagging off Games Workshop. I want to say nice things about them.
You do, yeah.
All right. When Pichu was here, I explained to him we have this kind of like good cop, bad cop situation. This is shit. This is the good side. This is what we. But it's difficult. And when we say Games Workshop, like we don't mean the store staff. We don't say the designers. Some are designers, but not all designers. But like, it's the people that say yes and no. The people that put the stamp of the approval on and allow that thing to walk out of the door. That's kind of where a lot of our annoyances are aimed at, because these people seem to be complete gumpy morons.
This seemed to be, we need a reveal for every big game system. We don't have anything. What can we throw at you?
Right. I remember back when I was a wee lad. I say a wee lad. I was like 18.
Yeah.
So we're talking about there was a great period around 2000 to 2005, right? Where when you went to Games Day, which was held at the NEC, you'd go and they'd have the new stuff that they were selling. Literally, they would release something on Games Day. This is new. You could buy it now, right? So I remember one year it was Space Wolves. Like the first time you could buy Space Wolves was at Games Day. But then you'd walk around a massive hall which was filled with all of the designers, right?
Yeah.
And those designers would have entire massive portfolios of things that they've worked on in the past, the stuff that was coming out like in the next year, in the next 5 years, stuff that they were designing there. They'd have prototypes of things that they were working on that was going to be released. I remember they had the Eldar Skyweaver jet bike on display at Games Day 5 years before it came out.
Yeah.
Right? That's gone now. Disney basically thinks, Games Workshop thinks that they're Disney. Like complete radio silence, can't release anything, can't put anything
Is your
out.
mic attached to you or is it just upside down?
Why is it upside down?
I don't know, you put it on.
You put it on.
I didn't.
You didn't. And so, like, I think Games Workshop needs to go back to the peek behind the curtain. They go,
Well, I
when
mean-
they say, like, big reveals for next year, they go, new Krieg is coming out. Here is the new Krieg heavy bolter guy, right? Or here is the prototype drawings of.
But last
Krieg
night's reveal
models.
didn't reveal anything, Joe.
It didn't, no.
Well, that's a lie, actually. Okay,
It revealed that Games Workshop's going to continue to exist next year.
I mean, it revealed that Games Workshop's completely fucking incompetent. But there's more on that in a moment, right? We did see a new Middle Earth or Lord of the Rings model from the Rohirrim stuff, which looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
Okay. We saw yet again the AOS team just flop their giant dick out and be like, we own this house.
I said before stream, what happens is the new designer comes into Games Workshop, comes into Lenten Mode, and someone from the AOS team catches them in a giant net and then drags them away. They're like, "What? You're ours. Off you come. We've heard good things about you." And then like they allow them to design something, and then if they're good, they get to stay, and if they're bad, they just like put them down a chute into the 40k.
If they're
team.
bad, then the fucking the design models for 40k just get approved. Apparently. Anywho, we'll jump into the article. A long story short, I think that if you stayed up for last night's reveal and you're in the UK, first of all, stop fucking putting them on American time. You're a British company, you pack of cunts. Secondly, like we had 2 weeks where we were allowed to be awake when the reveals happened. And even then, they weren't that impressive.
But there's a period of time on this planet where both America and England are awake.
I know, Joe. That's when we stream.
Yeah.
It's like we thought about that. It's like we stream at 7:30 in the evenings because West Coast, East Coast US are both awake, and as is the UK. As is Europe. Mad that. Imagine that.
These reveal things aren't even streams. It's just a pre-recorded video they press play on.
I know!
I like watching you get wound up.
But why do it at 2 a.m. UK time? You're a fucking British company. There is a period of time, as you've said, 8 o'clock at night, right? 8 o'clock at night is midday Pacific time, right? So it's 3 p.m. East Coast in the US.
Yeah.
It's 9 p.m. Europe. Guess what? Majority of the world gets to see it.
Maybe they don't want Australia to miss out. Maybe.
Here's what we're going to overcharge you for.
Yeah. Yeah. This is when all the snakes and spiders are asleep. This is when you get the peace. So this is like...
It's ridiculous. 2 o'clock is ridiculous. Just because I want to show it off at Adepticon, but you haven't shown anything off. You haven't really done anything. It was that could have been a Walcom article or an email.
Well, that's what so my thought was they show off, because what like they did with all the Skaven, they go, we're going to do another AOS reveal stream, and we're going to show off the new what they call Stormcast Eternals. We're going to show off those, and then do nothing else, right? I would rather have had nothing than what
we actually had.
Yeah.
I mean, what they gave us was nothing, Joe. That's the point.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't, I think we've had this conversation off air. I feel like I'm allowed to, I can say this on air. I feel like when GW are really taking the fucking piss when Tabletop Tactics starts throwing shade at them.
I think that's when you've made a mistake.
When Tactics are prepared to throw shade at you, you have been fucking shit.
When there's a channel that is so middle of the line, goes, we've had enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'll throw this out there now. Huge and massive respect for Lawrence and the team.
Yeah.
Love the guy.
Yeah, middle of the line is not an insult, by the way.
No, actually love the guy, but he is often one of those. So they don't swear like we swear. They play family friendly, and they often are like, we'll make the best of a bad situation. More positivity than negativity. Fully get it. Respect him. Love Lawrence. Think he's fantastic. Love the team. The team are all great, right? So this isn't a dig. I actually shared the Instagram post to my story on Instagram and was like, greatest fucking Instagram post of all time. But when they're throwing shade at them, you know that GW have fucked up or they've pushed it too far.
Well, yeah.
Like people are getting fed up.
Because what's mad is we had a roadmap at the start of 10th edition, right? Where they go, here are the next 7, here's like 7 or 8 codexes. These are the 8 codexes that are coming out. And people are like, solid, right? And when your next roadmap you show, half of the page is literally stuff that you've already released. That's not a roadmap. That's just self-congratulations.
So I've worked in, this was in Thanes earlier, I've worked in senior management and I've worked with roadmaps. And I've worked with roadmaps that are about what the business's plans are for the next 3 to 5 years. I've seen a roadmap which is a 10-year loose plan, right? Yeah. What we got last night, this morning, I guess, what we got when the UK's asleep, thanks, is not what which you could call a roadmap. There is no information on that roadmap. There is no timeline. There's no time frame. There is nothing at all in that roadmap that makes it a roadmap. This is almost like we've lost our presentation. How do we make something 10 minutes before we go live? It's kind of how it felt, right? There was no real detail to it. Like I said, again, hands up, the AOS team smashed it out the park with what they showed off of the Stormcast stuff, right? Legitimately smashed it out the park there. Yeah. But the 40k team, the fucking heresy reveals.
It's like so
honestly,
when I was a kitchen manager and the actual pub manager came to me, was like, "What's the menu for this weekend?" If I said,
"Lawrence is there, look at that."
He's there. We love you, Lauren.
I fucking love Lawrence.
If the actual pub manager goes, we're doing the menu for the weekend. What are we selling? Food.
Yeah, I mean, maybe at some point.
Yeah, this pub will still exist. We will definitely sell food, but that's it. Right? I get fired immediately.
The contract that I worked for was Rolls-Royce Power Systems. It was power generation, and we used to essentially we managed diesel engines, diesel generation units that were fitted to trains. Yeah. And if I was like, we had a new hybrid product, for example, that we're building, and if I said to my main customer, which was the biggest contract that Rolls-Royce had, you might get some engines next year, probably. They'd be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Right? It's an absolute absolute joke.
Yeah.
You said it already. You're better off literally saying.
Yeah, it's just some of the when they go like the new edition of Lord of the Rings is coming, right? We're gonna show off the new edition of what we're when they say there's gonna be reveals for the new edition for Lord of the Rings, right? People go like, this is Nova. It's one of the biggest events of the year. We might see the front cover of the box. We might see what's in the box. We might see what's the terrain. We might find out some rules. We might actually be revealed. And when they go, here's a model.
Which is cool.
It's a cool model.
It's more than 40k got.
But that's a Warcom post.
It is a Warcom post.
I think the problem is Games Workshop has no sliding scale on what's a reveal and what's... I
also think,
This comes from hiring inexperienced students over actual over marketing staff that have actually been out in the world and know how to market.
Well, it's trying to generate hype for the sake of generating hype, and I think at the same time they're having the exact negative impact on the hype train.
Yeah.
Because I think people are now getting so sick and fed up and bored of, here's a load of hype about literally nothing, you've shown us nothing at all. Yeah. The people are now, there's a number of people I know that now not even bothering to tune in for these reveal shows anymore. Yeah. And they'll wake up in the morning, they'll look at Warcom and be like, cool, I missed nothing. So I think that what they're doing, by almost overhyping everything and by trying to drop a release every fucking month or so, it seems, at least at every major event, they're actually having a negative impact on when things really should be hyped. And there's things that are coming out that absolutely should be hyped, and there's stuff they do that they do good work. Again, right? What I think the whole of last night's reveal show, and everything that they put out, specifically the roadmaps, has put a big shitty dog turd brush over the AOS reveal, which was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say though, right, this is where I still think it's pistol pointed at foot pull trigger, right? What happened to the Sacrosanct Chamber for AOS, for Stormcast?
Got rid of it entirely.
Got rid of it. Why? What do they say? What do they say they got rid of all that stuff?
Because they went to go and do science.
So okay, that's a narrative reason.
Space side, but they probably weren't selling enough.
Business reason. Too many. What they said. Too many model ranges in the Stormcast range. We're thinning it down.
Yeah.
Last night, here's a load more model ranges for the Stormcast range.
Yeah. One that's almost identical to one that we got rid of.
So after you've just pissed off everybody who had majority Sacrosanct models for their Stormcast, and you said, we do need to thin the range down, and I think the majority of people, if you're a Space Marine or Stormcast player, I think the majority of people, when they say we need to thin the range down, go, it sucks, especially if it's my models, but I kind of get the decision from a business perspective.
Yeah.
Capacity, production, I kind of get you wanting to thin the model range down. That kind of makes sense. It stings, I don't like it. I could always proxy some of the, like a lot of the AOS stuff specifically can be proxyable for other units that have similar size base, similar size models. But then you go, cool, so we've got away with that. We've told them it's because we're thinning the model range down. Here's a load new model ranges. What the fuck? What?
I think, right. I think this. The problem is, right. 10th edition. This last year, it has been an entire year now, really, isn't it? Because obviously.
10th is just over a year, mate. Yeah.
10th is a year, right?
Just over a year. It's been
like without like, it's just been a year of loss. As a 40k player in general, right? Because the 10th edition started off with Space Marines, no Horus Heresy models anymore. Oh. Right? We're literally going to cut a third of your range away. And then every other army is losing units.
Yep.
Right? For whatever reason. New book comes out. You're losing units that already exist. You're losing Forge World. And then every book, even to the point of the Blood Angels book, you're losing characters. You're losing staple units like the Librarian Dreadnought, and the Furioso Dreadnought. Gone. Like it's just been like Tau came out, didn't lose any models apart from most of its Forge World stuff. Tyranids lost stuff in their book, and they lost Forge World units in secret. Games Workshop didn't even fucking announce it. They were just like sweep that under the carpet. It doesn't exist. Right? It's just constant, and then you put a little bit of shit on top of that. The game's not great.
They're just...
right? And then on top of that, really bad model releases.
For my personal opinion is the game is suffering from exactly the same as what's happening with model ranges, and I think we can apply a generic issue to both the game, the model ranges, the codexes at the moment, and I think that issue for me is lack of flavour. I think it's lacking a lot of flavour. The game is stale and boring, and it's just actions everywhere.
Yeah.
The kits are kind of the same. Now, from a incredibly lazy painter's perspective, there is an element of the Blood Angels kits for me. I'm like, well, there's less detail for me to paint. That kind of appeals to me a little bit more. Yeah. But to remove Librarian Dreadnoughts and Furiosos and to take Seth out, I don't want to set you off too hard here. To take out Seth, Tycho, Corbulo and put in 3 additional captains is a fucking ridiculous. I know they brought in a new manager for the rules writing team, but at the moment, I think the first thing you should do is fucking sack the lot. What a fucking useless pack of cunts they are.
So they bought in, the Death Company. Right.
Death Company captains who also shouldn't exist.
2 Death Company captains shouldn't exist. Right? Shouldn't exist. Because, when you fall to the Black Rage, they take away your rank, you take away your stuff, they chain you to the floor, and they leave you till a battle starts. And they go, here's some stuff, fuck off, follow that chaplain, right? So you're not going to have a captain in the Death Company, right? Because there's already people leading the Death Company, and they're chaplains, right? It's a literal fucking job, is to lead the Death Company, right? And if you're a Blood Angels captain and you fall to the Black Range during battle, they're not going to go, everyone stop, got spray paint in black.
Yeah.
Right? And then we're going to put him in there, and he's a bit compos mentis, he might be able to lead his... No. I refuse... they tried Death Company captains before, guess what? They got rid of them, because it didn't make sense, they were against the law. And then they released a Blood Angels captain, right? Which doesn't need to exist.
Because you have captains.
Because you have captains, right? All you do is you change the Primaris captain rules to allow him to take a chainsword. And the Blood Angels captain can't even join Blade Guard. He can join less units.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
All they had to do was copy and paste Seth's, to take away Seth and then put in these completely 3 pointless additions is they're just a waste of paper at this point. Because you're not going to take the Death Company captains anyway.
Interestingly,
Jump Chaplain, Astroth, Lamartes, all better.
Also, they've added Death Company captain on foot, Death Company captain with jump pack, and they've added Blood Angels captain.
Yeah.
Dark Angels, no Dark Angels captains at all.
No.
Not a single one.
No.
None of those. So good consistency, good. Also, Death Company captain on foot, right? Death Company Marines on foot with bolt guns. Get rid of that data sheet.
That only does. Just say Death Company.
No one's taking that.
Death Company can either take bolt guns or bolt pistol chainsword. You don't need to have 2 separate profiles. And no one's going to take the versions with bolt guns because they're shit.
Anyway, this is a side rant.
But all they had to do was not put 4 pages of shit in and just copy and paste Seth's profile, right? They've acknowledged the fact that Seth exists in this book. Thank you, Games Workshop, for sending it to us. Right? They've acknowledged
the last thing we get sent.
4 times his name gets mentioned in that book, separate times, that he is in charge of leading the Flesh Tearers.
Yeah. Right? And you got transfers now,
and
Joe, as well.
And you got transfers. Great. But the reason I play Flesh Tearers is because I really fucking love Flesh Tearers. Right? I really love Gabriel Seth. Gabriel Seth is the most angriest man in the universe. Right? To the point where he probably should be Chaos, right? Because that's angry.
Yeah.
He's really loyal, right? There's background about how Rabute Gilliman talks about him and says that he's great. The Lions talked about him in the narrative and says that he's great. Right? He's in the book, right? And then they've gone, have some transfers, but you don't have your character.
Yeah.
But what it is...
But you can run a list, as we discovered yesterday, Joe, with how many captains?
Oh, you can make a character... I made a list, 22 captains.
Yeah, it was just captains, 22 captains.
Legal list.
Because narratively, right, Blood Angels with 10 companies would have 22 captains.
Yeah.
Legal list for Games Workshop, 22 captains, Blood Angels.
I'll be bringing it to every single Games Workshop event until they stop it. Right? It fucks me off so much. Right? Right. But the thing is, though, right? If you're a Blood Angel, if you're a Flesh Tearers player, all Games Workshop said to you is you're a Blood Angels player now. If you want to have cool characters in your army,
Yep.
you have to buy. Like now, I now have to paint an entirely new army.
You don't.
I don't, but well, I do.
That's not
hang on.
true.
No, that is a lie. I do because my Death Company aren't valid anymore. Seth is just a captain, right? My Sanguinary Guard are on the wrong size bases. Luckily, they don't have wings now. So
Do you not think this stinks of the? I mean, the whole thing, right? Whether you're talking about the people doing reveals and releases, whether you're talking about people writing the rules, whether you're talking about people sculpting models, whether you're talking about people writing the narrative. We spoke about this. We had Peachy here Tuesday, right? We spoke about this when we did the saga with him 4 months ago. For me, this is just the epitome of a company working in silo that doesn't talk to each other. It's not too dissimilar to what you said previously. Huge fucking Black Library fancy Warhammer Plus thing about how Yarrick cannot die. The orcs believe that he's so immortal, they've actually manifested his immortality. Yarrick cannot die. Next book, Yarrick's dead.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Do you know who's in charge of 40k narrative and lore at Games Workshop?
Is it Wade?
It is Wade. What army does Wade play?
Is it Flesh Terrors?
It's Flesh Terrors.
Well, I think he was the lawkeeper for 40k. I don't know if he still is.
Well, whoever replaced him needs to be fired.
I mean,
Out of a cannon into a wall 3 inches away from the end of the cannon.
I think if you and I became in charge of Games Workshop, we'd be firing a lot of people. We might not have a business at the end.
There's things that have been said, right, about the fact that the painting team almost dictates more what happens in the lore than the narrative team, because the painting team paints something and they fuck it up, and then the lore has to be changed.
Well, we'll see. I don't.
Right? And all right, in this book, right?
My fucking rugs fell down. Keep talking, Joe.
In this book, right, there are assault intercessors on foot, which we all know are a battle line troops choice with yellow helmets.
Yeah, but they're assault intercessors, Joe.
Yeah, but they're not a fast attack option. They're not fast attack.
Oh, fuck, we've got some gifted memberships coming through.
I'm going to do it.
We'll talk about it in a minute.
I just like, and it's like Infernus Marines and Reavers, which were elites, have got so Infernus Marines have got blue helmets in there for some reason. They're not heavy.
There's no such thing as heavy support anymore, Joe. There's no such thing as heavy support fast attack anymore.
Yeah, but they've got the wrong transfers on their shoulders then. Right? They've got Reavers in there with yellow helmets. They're not fast attack. They're elites.
Joe, there's 500 people watching you rant about Blade.
It's like, but it's their job. Right? It's like, what's your job? I paint models for Games Workshop. What do you do? Oh, because and I paint them to match the words.
I'm at Warhammer World as well. I've got access to all the lore.
Yeah. It's just get off your fucking arse.
Yeah.
And have a look.
We're going to jump into the article. Thank you, Sean, for 5 gifted, by the way. We'll do the gifteds in a second. I know we've got a bunch of super chats to get through as well. I'm conscious I want to get through this article, though, before we get through the super chats. We'll do the members first, because members is easy. We just got to do some hopes, right?
Thank you, Rob Paul, for 1 gifted membership. Thank you, Sam Deacon, for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Sam.
I hope, Sam, that your faction wasn't ruined by the release of any book. Right?
Fucking hell, Adrian just got gifted a membership. Honestly. Carry on.
Thank you, Aaron 582 Railways, for becoming a Huskal.
Legend.
Thank you, Stick Monkey, for 5 gifted memberships. I hope that next time you eat an Indian meal, it doesn't turn the inside of your body to paste like it has, like mine.
Yeah.
It's fragrant. It was in my house this morning. Thank you, Will Stewart, for 10 gifted memberships. I hope you get treated with a takeaway meal tonight.
Oh. That doesn't turn your body.
That doesn't turn your body.
22 members, chat. Thank you so much. You're amazing. We always have a stream target of 100. It's been quiet today because people have been listening to us rant instead. I'm about to share the article from last night. I'm going to warn you now. It's not going to get better. All right. It's not going to get better. I think that there's a couple of things I think. Obviously, I think they should be doing this UK time anyway. Yeah. Whether they do it to coincide with Adepticon or not, I still think they should do it in a time where everybody's awake. That aside, I think that there's a lot that they got. Yeah, there's a lot they put out last night we didn't need to see.
This is the epitome.
This is the literal epitome of could have been an email.
I need to say, right, I don't like to play against Games Workshop. I said it before. Like Warhammer and Games Workshop have been my life for more than 22 years, right? I want to come on this show and be like, fucking good job, Games Workshop, well done. Please keep doing more of this. And then we do that sometimes, and then literally 5 seconds later, Games Workshop's like, hold my beer. Here's a potato with arms.
So I said earlier, right? Lawrence was in chat earlier, if he's still there, but I said earlier, you know you've pissed people off, or you know you've pushed it too far when Temple Tactics take a dig at you. Joe is our good cop. Joe is our, I want to be conscious of the fact they still send us stuff, and he sat here ranting. I think last night, I'm aware of the fact that GW sit down on a frequent basis in the mornings and listen to social media and what social media's been saying. I really genuinely hope this is one of those rare occasions where they go, yeah, we did a fucking shit job here, and we should listen to our audience. Because at the moment, my biggest issue isn't the models that they're releasing. Right. It isn't the fact that they're deleting characters that are still alive. It isn't the rules in the codex. It isn't 10th edition. My biggest issue is they don't seem to be fucking listening to anybody. They seem to go, la, 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 la. I'm going to ignore everything that everybody else is telling us. We're just going to do our own thing and fuck you lot. And I think if they continue down that path and they continue with that attitude, they're going to have a real rocky few years ahead of them. Yeah. I don't think Games Workshop are ever going to die. I certainly hope they don't. I love the hobby, and I love the hobby community too much.
Our business is based around them.
And my business is based around it, and I love the hobby community too much. But I think that they are treading. I personally, genuinely believe they're treading a fucking dangerous path right now, and I'm not here for it. So here's the article for yesterday, right? The Warhammer Preview Open. Well, I'm going to read through some of this because this is, again, where I think that the people that write these Warhammer articles are complete fucking morons. There's a disconnect from what's actually happening. Welcome to another dazzling reveals event, beamed straight from the Nova Open. Oh, sorry, Nova, not Adepticon. One of the highlights of the independent Warhammer tournament circuit. We've got some stunning miniatures to show off from Warhammer Age of Sigmar and Blood Bowl, followed by looking to the future of Warhammer through the medium of roadmaps, right? We're not going to watch the video because it's shit.
Well, it's about models.
Also, by the way, I was like, I'm going to hold my hand up here, chat, right? I'm going to hold my hand up here, chat, and say I was wrong, okay? It's rare that I say this. I was wrong. When they were doing live content, I was like, oh my God, please get some good presenters here. It's so flat. And then I was like, it's actually arguably be better if they just did pre-recorded. And actually, if they did do pre-recorded, they could release it whenever they wanted. For some reason, we're still dropping it at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. But anyway, the pre-recorded stuff is worse. It's worse. It's so flat. It's rehearsed bullshit. It's rehearsed corporate bullshit. How can I give a political answer? How can I be a politician in Warhammer? How can I say something without actually saying anything, but being all positive about it? It's fucking nonsense. It's so dull and flat. How can it be your job to promote this product and everybody else like us is more excited than you are?
Yeah, there's no enthusiasm for what they sell, right? I almost feel like they need to replace the entire presenting team with new hired GW manager staff, because no one is more happy than someone that's just got a job at Games Workshop, right? People go and work at Games Workshop because they fucking love Warhammer and they fucking love models. And their dream is to work at Games Workshop. They've gone to work at Mecca, you know? They've gone to the holiest of holies, right? Get them on. Be like, here's the new stuff. You can't say a huge amount. Just be fucking excited because you're excitable puppies. Go and do that. Don't give it to a guy who's literally had to crawl out of bed because they're just done with it.
But I get that they have the shackles of there's certain things they can say, certain things they can't say. But it's just so flat and dull. It's hard to watch. Like, I feel like if you're in a space where a person would rather tune in and watch their favourite streamer stream the reveal rather than actually watch the reveal, you're doing a shit job. Yeah. You just are. You're doing a bad job.
These reveals, right, go back to live, get us on, right, primarily, and then be like other people, get like Lawrence and get Katie. I'd go so far as to get Mikey on. That would be great, I think, because he'd just say inappropriate things and get kicked off the stream immediately. But go, here's a new reveal. You don't just have a picture. Here's the model. And then we look at the picture.
Oh, Joe.
We hold the model, we look at it, and we go, this is fucking incredible. We won't swear, we'll be nice, right? This is great. And then the people on the internet who are watching will see the revolving image. But look at that, I love how that, and I like how the Griffin's got a cowl on, and I like how the mold lines work and integrate on this, and you talk about how great a wonder it is, and like these people who you've got on to do for free are going to hype everything for you.
I honestly, you're so right. If they invited me up to do a reveal show, no, I'm not. Let's ignore me for a moment. Actually,
what we said. They were.
I'm with 30-something thousand. We're a tiny channel, right? Genuinely, they're not going to come to me. I also swear a lot, and I'm quite negative about them. Now, I can do a whole stream without a single swear word. Yeah. Perfectly possible. I've been on Titans many a time. I can do it. I've been on Vanguard many a time. Both of those channels don't allow swearing.
The whole time.
It doesn't matter. Both of those don't allow swearing. I can not swear. That's an easy thing for me to turn on and off.
Yeah.
I choose. There's a load of channels out there that are family friendly and kids can watch. And we choose to go the other way and be like, no, we're for the adults. We're for the grown-ups. We're going to make grown-up jokes. We're going to be stupid and tell dick jokes and stuff. We make that conscious choice, and I'm more comfortable doing that. But I can turn that off. That's aside. We'll sweep that to one side. Let's look at your Lawrences and look at your, even to some extent, your Valrax. Honestly, because of how excited he gets about Space Marine stuff, and your tabletop Titans, you play on tabletops, your mini wargamings. Look at all these people, right? Look at all these people. If you said, we want you to come to a reveal show, right? Yeah. We're going to get you to sign an NDA, which is basically, you can't say you're coming to do the reveal show. Apart from, I'm going to be live with the reveals at this time about 40 hours in advance, okay? So you can make some hype, okay? You're not going to scream at your own channel. We're going to go out on Warhammer TV. Cool, all these things fine. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to show you or tell you what it is. And then what you do is when you give them the model, which we'll put on screen in a minute, this is the first time you've seen it. Yeah. And you get a Lawrence's or an Adrian's or a Valrax genuine reaction to the first time seeing that model. That is genuine excitement on camera, and that will become infectious to the audience, without doubt. Right? If you'd have brought me up to show me these Stormcast, I'd have probably struggled not to swear because they're so pretty. Yeah. I'd have managed it, but I'm like, they are absolutely
Well, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, it's after the watershed, you can swear you want.
2 o'clock in the morning, everyone's asleep anyway, who gives a fuck? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, you're not wrong. It's so flat, it's so boring. So, now we're done with the show. We've got even more pictures below with extra details for the eagle-eyed. You can catch up on everything as it happened with the video above, or head to the pages below to see everything laid out in crisp, glorious text, right? He is incredible. By the way, also, can I also give a special shout out to the people that have painted the Stormcast stuff? There's a specific model that I want to look at in a minute if we've got the image, which is unreal in terms of painting. They've done a nice job. So I know we've just criticised them with the Blood Angels head colours. This stuff, incredible, right? Stormcast cells aren't taking their defeat at Halcyon line down, and reinforcements have arrived from Azir to bolster the lines. New cavalry, new heroes, and even some new terrain have joined the battle. Oh yeah, the porta potty, including one of the coolest skull-faced characters to ever stride the tabletop. Let's face it, skulls are pretty. Right, okay, so we'll click on this article. We'll go into the Stormcast. We're not gonna watch the.
I'm glad that Troke's back
with his flannel shirt. With his flannel. Go on, Adam.
I bet he's got jean shorts on as well.
This model, by the way, oh my! That Griffin is one of the sexiest monsters they've ever made. Yeah. That Falcon-based face is unbelievable, and they've put a person on the back of a giant monster that has a big weapon, so he can actually reach people.
Yeah.
Genius.
It's not a tiny little sword.
He is a gorgeous kit. There's a side. Look at that for a model, Joe. Hero rock, obviously. Yeah. Tactical rock, of course. Axe is beautiful. It's just, and you've got another version with a spear. So good. It's so good.
I prefer that one.
I don't know. See, they're just both gorgeous.
They're both great, but I don't know. I like Angry Bird.
Yeah. So they're stunning, incredible kits, right? Yeah. We got the Lord Celestin, because we need more characters for Stormcast.
But it's your multi-part plastic kit, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, lots of different options: shield, sword, hammer, fist bump.
Yeah.
There's a Lord Relictor.
Oh
my God, Joe!
I love this guy. This is a chaplain standard bearer in waiting.
Hey, Blade Guard champion. You know your banner, Blade Guard man. Let's just do this better.
Yeah, let's just do a much cooler version.
I dread to think how many fucking 40k people are going to get their hands on this for 40k chaplains.
That's a Dark Angel chaplain.
He is absolutely fucking gorgeous. Yeah. What an incredible model again. Well done. We've got another Lord Terminus.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's lovely, isn't he?
They are so nice. Right, and here's the bit. Whoever painted that hourglass, right, deserves a fucking pay rise.
Yeah.
Because that thing almost looks 3D and it's painted on a flat surface. Yeah. That is incredible. Whoever painted that, unbelievable work. I'm sure you're not watching. I'm sure no one at GW watches us anymore.
I imagine they got 10 minutes in and they were like, off.
Yeah! I'm sure we're going to get blacklisted soon. That fucking stunning, honestly, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right, Reclusians, cool.
Nice.
I like them. I'm a fan of them. I mean, they're the same as the ones in the box, but multi-part, obviously.
Yeah.
We've got a different version of them, I think.
With maces.
Yeah,
Maces
I love
and
the
placement.
Reclusian stuff, by the way. I think they're stunning. I love them. I'm a big fan. Stormstrike Paladors, because we've got rid of a cavalry unit with the Sacrosanct Chamber, so let's bring another one out.
But they've already got bird ones, which are the Vanguard
Yeah, I
ones.
think
They've
so,
got the
yeah.
scout versions. These are like not scouts.
Again, stunning.
Great banner.
Absolutely fucking beautiful. Mate, look with the pot. Oh my God, Joe, look at that! Look at the man and his horn. And then this was for me at least.
Yeah.
Everything's beautiful, right? This bottom one, I was like, this is a swing and a miss, right?
Yeah.
The TARDIS.
The TARDIS.
The Stormcast Portaloo.
It matches the kind of Azerite.
See that Stormreach Portaloo. See it
Yeah.
says so.
It matches the aesthetic that we've already got for their buildings. At least it's a complete building and not a ruin for a change.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm not sold on it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I just don't love it.
I don't think it's terrible. I personally hate painting portals on stuff, mainly because I'm shit at it. I'm really bad at it. I can't do it, and it just really grips me. If I was good at painting them, I wouldn't mind. Like, I'm terrible at painting fire. Josh does a really good fire painting tutorial using contrast, by the way.
Yeah.
And I've got better at
Miss
it.
of the War Hipster, check him out.
But I just can't. I can't do it. And when I see stuff like that, I'm like, how do I cover this up?
I could paint that.
Yeah. Can I get if they did it transparent, I could put if I could put a tea light inside.
If you
it.
paint the rest of it, I'll just do the portal.
Yeah.
The portal's just glazing. I love glazing.
Yeah, I
It's
bet
one of the
you
things
do.
I like doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting glazed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, glazing.
Oh, okay.
That's why I've got 2 children.
Yeah.
It's okay. I just don't love it. I think it's all right.
It's quite big though.
It's a big bulky piece of kit, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
bet my only issue is going to be overpriced.
And then the Stormcast Eternals book is coming, obviously, which has now just got thicker with all those new models.
Yeah.
The battle tomes look pretty.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
I prefer the second one.
Right.
I like that. I like the red white. I like that as the.
So that's the standard.
Yeah.
This is the limited.
Yeah, that's
think.
nice. I think that should be the general artwork all the time for the new edition of AOS.
No. Sorry, hang on. This is the standard.
Yeah.
Right? This is the gamers. Oh, by the way, we haven't talked about this on stream yet.
No.
Let's talk about this for a moment, right? This is another one of those moments where I'm like, 40k team, watch.
Yeah.
Watch how it's done. This is what I was talking about when I talk about the AOS team just flopping their dick out and being like, we're better than everybody else, right? Here's one of those moments, right? This, Joe, is a standard battle tome.
Yeah.
In this battle tome, you will get everything you normally get in the battle tome.
Yeah.
There's lore, there's paint guides, there's all the data, etc.,
Yeah.
okay? Then you have the Gamers Edition, which is this one below, including cards, right?
Madness.
Which cover all of your primary Stormcast Eternals rules alongside War Scrolls cards. They don't have the lore in, they take all the shit out that you don't need. Just rules. Just rules and cards. Just rules and cards. Genius.
It's like, why haven't they been doing this for years?
I know, Joe! It's genius!
And what's mad, right, is this is what we were saying they needed to do for 40k. Why isn't the book coming with the cards?
It's almost like the AOS team have watched what we've said. I mean, they haven't, clearly. But it's almost like the AOS team have watched what we've said and go, well, that sounds like a good idea, we'll do that. Yeah. And the 40k team are going, no, they've shouted about Stu too much, we're going to ignore them. Honestly.
Stu does hate us. He does actively avoid us.
I don't hate him. I don't hate him.
I don't hate him.
I hate the stupid fucking nonsense he spouts, but I don't hate him.
Right, 100% honesty. Stu is a victim of a Games Workshop corporate ball gag and leash.
Oh, perhaps 100%.
Right.
That's why I don't hate him.
Yeah. They're like, Lenton Road is on fire, make it sound like it's not.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Anyway, yeah, we don't hate him. I feel bad for a lot of the things that he has to say, but unfortunately, he is the face of Games Workshop. Thus, he is the.
So
punch bag.
I've said frequently that I always want to make sure that 40k and AOS feel like different games, play like different games, and they don't just feel like one is sci-fi AOS. And I maintain that. and I stick to my guns there. I want 40k to feel different. I want 40k to keep strength versus toughness. I do, genuinely. I don't want it to change to flat wounds. There's a couple of things I'd like to see in 40k. I like damage spilling over, personally. Maybe it won't work in 40k, but there's things I'd like to see. But on the whole, I want them to feel like very different games. When we then talk about things that 40k should copy AOS for, if the 40k team, if the Warhammer 40k design studio are watching what the AOS design studio are doing, there are some things that I think they should absolutely copy. This is one of them. Gamers edition books with cards. My only caveat to this, right, if you're watching still, I mean, I don't know why you would. If you're watching still, my only caveat to this is if you're going to do a gamers edition, right, what you need to do in the first instance is write a good fucking codex that doesn't need to be updated in 2 weeks because you fucked it on release, right? So if you actually did your fucking job well in the first place, the gamers edition then becomes a good purchase because it's not null and void within 2 weeks of purchase.
That looks softback as well from the seam.
Maybe, I don't know.
From the edge. That looks, if you go up, because you've normally got a big divot, haven't you, on a hardback?
But if you do a good job in the first instance, Mikey touched on this in the latest saga that goes up to everybody on Saturday, currently available to our members. If you do a good job in the first instance, this is a great release because I can buy a Gamers Edition and it's relevant. Today, chat, I went and spent an unreasonable amount of money buying 2 tablets for the lads to play 40k on, so we can have one because Joe gets annoyed with cards and books. And I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I'm one of the worst for it.
I just hate yours and Brom's admin on the side of the table.
So I'm improving the admin because you hate it so much. I've bought dice trays, which you'll get to use tonight for the first time, right? And I'm about to buy some stands, but today I've got 2 iPads. We'll have no books and cards. You'll just have your tablet, right? And you'll both be able to run your army from a single tablet, right? And the reason why we have to do this as well isn't just because of the admin, partly because of the admin, because it looks neater, right? Having a nice iPad, it looks neater than having cards and books and shit everywhere. But the other reason why we're having to do this is, guess what? The fucking tablet's up to date at least. It's almost like, I almost feel like a little bit like they go, what we'll do is we'll almost purposely fuck the rules in the codex, and then they'll have to pay for Warhammer Plus and get access to all the rules because that's the one that's up to date. That's not actually what they're doing, obviously, but it feels a little bit like that, right?
Yeah. All they need to do now is go, or you could buy the digital version.
And now they're going, Warhammer Plus is such a raging success. Look at it. Well, you've put out fucking nothing but shit on the TV show, or nothing actually recently at all, just because people have to use it to use the up-to-date list builder rules.
I am very much in the mind of AOS is putting out such an incredible product as it is at the moment. I don't have an issue paying for it. 40k after a year, I'm very much in the mindset of all 40k rules and codex rules. The whole app should just be free.
Because it's such a mess.
Because it's so bad.
I feel like if you are able to prove to them that you've bought a codex or some data cards that are already null and void, index doesn't count because it's index. You knew that was going to be a null and void. I feel like if you can prove that purchase, they should go, okay, you're going to get free access to the app because we fucked up.
Well, on the app, you have to put in a code which comes from a codex.
No, I know.
So you have to. So they go on the app. We can see that you've bought 5 codexes.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Everything else is free from now on.
Yeah, because we're doing a terrible job.
Yeah.
Because we've said this before. Poor AdMech players.
Someone said to me the other day, Joe, when are you going to play AdMech on the channel? I'm like, I don't want to, because I can't use the cards. I can't use the codex. And
now we've got the tablets.
We've got the tablets,
It might be
but the
better.
problem is the app's not up to date with the FAQs because the FAQs state if a unit has this rule, blah blah, it is now this instead.
Oh yeah. So they haven't actually replaced the rule on the. Oh
No.
motherfucker. Anyway.
So you have to have the FAQ up as well as the app.
We are currently. Is that 22 members?
Yeah.
Chat, can we get to 50 members before the end of the stream? Come on. Right, now the bit that fucks me off. So AOS team up to date, apart from the TARDIS, which I don't love, but some people do. Cool. That's just a taste issue. I don't think it's a bad model, just a taste issue.
Yeah.
Everything up to that point, beautiful.
Yeah.
Apart from, again, as we've mentioned,
Yeah.
bringing loads more data sheets in that we didn't need. Right.
Okay, are you gonna scroll down or are you going back?
Let's scroll down.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
What?
Alongside the new releases, there are wider releases for several of the units which first appeared in Skaven ties, such as Liberated, Prosecute, blah, 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 blah. With the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar out, now it's time for a roadmap.
Yeah.
A roadmap.
A roadmap.
Now, what is a map to you, Joe? What is a map?
A thing that shows me where to go.
gives you detail.
Yeah.
Right? Gives you detail, tells you exactly where you could be headed.
Roadmaps historically go spring, summer, autumn, winter. Usually, that's what Games Workshop.
For Games Workshop, which I think for most people has still been considered a bit shit as a roadmap. Doesn't give you any detail. I get them wanting to give themselves wiggle room to bring releases forward and back.
But they still go, when they go spring, summer, autumn, you go, well, I know roughly between January and April, this might happen.
But at the same time, I feel like most people that are down to earth reasonable, and I'm aware we're talking about the Warhammer community here, but most people who are reasonable down to earth, when they get given roadmap, codex, blah, out in January, if it comes in the first week of February, but they communicate that we've had to push it back a couple of weeks, maybe like roadmaps do move. That happens.
Yeah.
Roadmaps do move forward and backwards. That's fine, okay? But a roadmap gives you some semblance of detail as to where you're going.
Yeah.
And one of the most important parts of that is also where you're going, okay?
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is this is their roadmap, right? This bollocks here, so far, don't need it on a roadmap, absolute nonsense. Hey, look at us patting ourselves on the back, look at everything we've done, right?
That's like...
Fuck it off, don't
That's
need
like
that.
your sat-nav describing your house to you.
Yeah. Well done, you've just driven down 5 roads. I didn't need to know that, I've just driven down the roads, right? This is Gump filler. Don't put this in Games Workshop, bollocks, bad job, right? Still to come, battle tomes galore, including Skaven, Stormcast Eternals, and Slaves to Darkness. The majority of this we already knew.
Slaves to Darkness is exciting.
Yeah, but we already knew. We already knew that stuff anyway. Still to come, we're going to show you stuff we've already showed you, right? Again, pointless in a fucking roadmap. We've already shown you this. We don't need to show it again.
Yeah.
Even then, right, what have they given us the time frame? When are we getting Skaven? When are we getting Stormcast Eternals? When? It's not a map, is it? Let's just say we've told you this, we're telling you again.
So
cool.
that, I would assume, that's within 2024. But the thing is, though, to assume makes a fool of you and me.
Eyeball 720. I watched the stream live. I want my time back. Hopefully not this one, mate. Hopefully the Games Workshop one. And then, right, so Stormcast. So at the moment, all the way down here, first new piece of information, Slave to Darkness. No time frame, right? And then the biggest fucking piss take of all from a roadmap. And beyond, right? Even more to come in 2025. 2025, all factions. Wait, what? Oh, what does that mean, Joe? What does that mean?
Does that mean that we're going to get every Age of Sigmar faction in 1 year?
Or does it mean we're going to get something from all of the 4 main factions or alliances? What does it mean? Because they've said all factions, and they just put the 4 alliances underneath it.
So here's an interesting thing, right? That Games Workshop can get themselves into trouble with this. To the point where I'd say you should probably take it down. Because if Games Workshop doesn't release all factions in 2025, that is like, you are opening yourself to a lawsuit.
Then, right, so it says all factions, it just goes order, chaos, destruction, and death. Doesn't tell you what, but it's a spearhead, destruction, Auric War Clans, Gloomspite Gits. That's exciting. Like, I think we should have new spearhead for Auric is fine, right? Death, more to be announced soon. What's that? In 2025, death, more to be announced soon.
But that's like saying all factions, which includes death. So double death.
So what is this? This is bollocks.
Army boxes are coming next year.
Yeah,
and
guess what? We're going to release army boxes and spearheads. What we're telling you is in 2025, we're going to do our fucking job. What is this? They've told us fuck all. That's not a roadmap.
Yeah. That's like us going, we're going to stream next year.
Yeah. In 2025, chat, more streams. More streams.
Yeah.
Pay up now.
Yeah. About models.
We can't tell you what, because the roadmap doesn't tell us. What is this?
Yeah. Gary McGowan is correct. The 30k roadmap is hilarious. It's even better. Yeah.
First out the gates are Skaven, who will be swiftly followed by Stormcast Eternals. Not telling us when, however, alongside everything we've shown above. Hot on their gleaming heels, another faction of unstoppable armoured warriors, albeit meaner on spikes, Battle Slave Starts will be the 3rd release, right? And I've heard that they've said that there's going to be a Dark Oath Spearhead, which this makes me very excited. Dark Oath Tribe Spearhead. This will be joined by a Spearhead for the Auric War Clans, which I think gets Kyle excited because he wants one of those, as well as individual releases for the Gloomspite Gits. As for the Denizens of Death, we'll have more news and good time. What the fuck? This needs to stop as well. Like, they do this on the community page, on the social media pages. When we have more news, we'll let you know. Fucking say nothing. That doesn't help anybody. Whenever someone comments on a Facebook page, any news on such and such, when we know more, we'll let you know. They're never going to reply to them personally. They're never going to do that. That's not what they do. They're just going to release another bullshit Warcom article.
That's like when they say like oh where are they? Oh, just down the road.
Fucking. Oh my god! Honestly,
my biggest gripe in life, the one phrase I hate more than any other phrase that exists in the world is "we'll see." Well, we'll see.
Oh mate, yeah.
We'll see.
I don't even.
Should we respond to some of these people?
I don't even say it to no. Fuck them. I don't even say that to my. I don't even say it to my kids anymore.
Don't say that.
I'm going to row it.
These are people that are giving us money.
There's new Blood Bowl stuff, which looks cool. We're not going to cover Blood Bowl stuff because we're going to run out of time, right? We're not going to cover Blood Bowl
because that's actually something good.
No,
people will stop watching.
It's okay. Like, I think the team looks really nice.
Oh, the team looks banging.
The team is beautiful. Yeah. We want to bring Blood Bowl in the future. At some point in the next couple of months, I'm going to say to Joe, you've got 2 weeks playing 2 Blood Bowl teams. Put that as your focus for now. And then once we've done those, we'll bring a Blood Bowl game. And then maybe a few months after, I'll say, right, here's 2 more teams, and we'll do another Blood Bowl game. We're not going to be doing it weekly. We're going to be bringing Blood Bowl. This team looks fucking beautiful. Right? All this stuff looks really, really cool. Chaos Dwarves is sexy.
How would you run with a beard like that?
I try. The centaur, the whole thing is like, it's beautiful, right? It's really, really pretty. I love it. There's nothing negative to say about that one at all, right? Okay, cool. Okay.
Should we do these, Pete?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Are we going to do
We're going to get through these.
We're going to do all these and then we'll do the Super.
Because there's not a lot to get through now, chat, I'll be honest. Yeah, we're about to be thin on the ground. Okay, so Warhammer 40,000. Now, I am mad for AOS. I'm loving AOS. I'm really, really enjoying AOS. I want cool Warhammer stuff, though. I've got my passion back lately. I have my passion back for Warhammer 40k, categorically. And it's because I've been playing AOS and just picking what's cool. And I'm now applying that back to Warhammer 40k and I'm enjoying myself again. Say that categorically, right? Okay, right. Let's ignore that fucking face. Here we go. Right. This is as bad. This actually arguably gives us slightly more detail.
This actually gives us a bit more information because we know that Blood Angels is the last thing.
Can I also say, by the way, right? Can I also say that the way they've laid this out is fucking stupid, right? Graphically, who the fuck are they hiring? Right, so far, new edition of Warhammer 40,000. It was last fucking year. It's 2023. Why is it on the roadmap for 2024? What are they thinking? Anyway, right? Oh my god. Rollout of refreshed rules and armies. Loads of great factions. What sort of graphics is it? Look how faded Adeptus Mechanicus is. We almost don't want to admit we released this one.
Yeah. They could have literally just put in any other faction.
Yeah, we almost don't want to admit we've released it. We'll almost fade it out completely because we don't want to admit the fucking absolute balls that we made there. Data slate releases, update to rules and points, continued faction diversity across match. This is literal corporate speech at its fucking finest. Yeah. This is bullshit words on page that mean nothing at all. Like, this is the kind of useless shit you write in your CV to try and apply.
I was going to say that this is the reason why we're not getting sent as much as we used.
I couldn't give a fuck. I'd rather keep my integrity, Jay. Right, yeah. I'd rather keep my integrity and buy the models. Honestly, I don't care. Still to come, with such a lot happening in 2024, it's time to take a breath. Watch the balance and enjoy the World Championships of Warhammer. Blood Angels, end of the year. So for the rest of the year, Blood Angels. That's what you got.
Yeah.
What
a wet fart to end the year on as well. And I'm a Blood Angels player.
What the fuck is... This is more bullshit speech as well. With a lot happening in 2024. Well, arguably not in fucking Warhammer 40k world. Just Blood Angels.
Yeah.
Honestly, right? And beyond, even more to come in 2025. 2025, Astral Retirement, Eldari, Imperial Knights.
Plus, more codexes.
Big names! What the fuck is big names? What is that? The person who wrote these roadmaps is drunk. Yeah. Honestly, he's got to be drunk. So I'm excited about Astral Retirement, right? And I'm excited
I am very excited. I've got a lot of guard that needs to be painted. I've got like 20 Rough Riders need to do. I'm like new Scions, new Krieg. I'm really excited for. Like I both want to do Krieg, but I've also used Plastic Krieg to do my Valhallans, so it means I can add a bit more variety to my Valhallans, which I'm very excited for. Like, that's really, really good. I'm not looking forward to the fact that it's probably going to be shit, and then on the heels of it, have the most broken codex ever released. in the form of Eldar.
If
I've never known a bad Eldar.
there has been a pattern emerging of certain individuals who play certain codexes and certain factions, and when those codexes come out, they look incredibly strong. This faction is one that's already got a problem and has had a problem for a number of years and a number of editions as already being ridiculously strong. As an Eldar player, I am both incredibly excited about a new Eldar codex and terrified at the same time, because I think, one, I'm going to get, they've said it on the video, new aspects are coming. They don't know what, but if I think about what those new aspects are going to be, they're going to be either swooping hawks,
It'll be
warp spiders, or fire dragons.
they say new, entirely new aspects being created.
No.
Or the existing ones in plastic.
It will be a plastic refresh of one of the aspects, maybe two of the aspects.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it will be. So that gets my dick hard. I'll be honest, because I love Eldar. So that I'm very excited about all that kind of stuff. At the same time, and coming away from the detachment reroll bollocks that we've currently got, at the same time, I'm both terrified because I feel like I'm going to end up backing the seat that I was a long time ago when second you say you're playing Eldar, everyone goes, oh, for fuck's sake, because it's just too powerful. Imperial Knights, cool. That would be interesting, I guess. I don't know what they could do for Imperial Knights. But then to say, plus, more codexes, big names, special chaos treats. What a bunch of shit. What a fucking crock of shit that is. Anyway. Right, so that was the 40k one. We've done the AOS roadmap.
Yeah.
Right, we've covered that one off already.
Yeah.
So the Warhammer 40k one was, I reckon, is a roadmap. The future part, the actually map part that everyone cares about, slightly better than the AOS one.
Yeah.
Right? The AOS one was just generic nonsense, okay?
Yeah.
It wasn't a roadmap at all, didn't give you any details, didn't tell you anything. At least the 40k one gave you specific factions. But the previous part, when they're saying we released a new Warhammer 40k, it's 2023, you fucking clowns. Like, I'm aware that Stu struggles to work out time frames. I'm aware that he doesn't know what 3 months is and 6 months is. I'm aware that that's a problem for him. But to say 2024 roadmap, we released a new edition of 40k, you didn't. That's wrong. So the before part worse, the forward part better.
Well,
so
technically, we did get a new Warhammer 40k about 3 months ago when they basically rewrote the.
So if you took the before part for AOS and you took the forward part of 40k and you smushed them together, you'd have a slightly trodden in dog shit roadmap rather than just a complete dog shit roadmap, right? Anyway, these two then got a rough end of the stick, Joe. Okay.
I mean, arguably, Horus Heresy didn't get a stick. They just got bark. Here's a video of things that you already know exist.
Box beautiful, by the way. I'll give them that much. What the fuck is this?
Tanks. Tanks are coming.
Roadmap 2024. So far, Solely Auxiliary took to the field, Age of Darkness and new plastic ranges, which were beautiful, right? Alongside a load of new other miniatures. A generic sentence, don't put it in there. If you've got nothing to say fucking nothing. Legion Imperialis continues to go from strength to strength. Does it? The Mechanicum continued to blow across the battlefields of the Horus Heresy. Other factions lurk, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And beyond, more Legion Imperialis and tanks. Something new every month. That's not a roadmap! It's not a roadmap! You've not told us anything!
Tanks are coming, but they haven't said whether it's tanks for Horus Heresy or for Horus Heresy Legion Imperialis.
You've got fuck all to tell us. Tell us nothing.
And those tanks are all tanks that are currently
They're already out! It's not a roadmap, Joe! It's not a roadmap! It's not. My rage is real.
If they said tanks, right, they should have put a picture of the tanks they're going to release. Even in the small.
Imagine saying, right, in 2025, our roadmap for Legion Imperialis is more Imperialis. In any job I've had, where I've had to present like roadmaps and plans, if I put anything we've seen so far, if I put anything that level of detail in front of my senior team, I'd be on a fucking disciplinary.
What's coming up next year? Fixing more trains.
Yeah, I'd be on a disciplinary, without
National
doubt.
Rail's going to continue to be shit.
Without doubt, right? Absolutely. Okay, so that was the Heresy one. Brilliant. And then Old World. It's just as bad. Although we're getting high elves.
Still to come, the things that we've already told you about.
Yeah, so far, Warhammer, the Old World launched Christmas time. Long-beloved factions return to the world of legend and have been well received at a dedicated by a dedicated fan base.
And then, like...
Who are you convincing with that sentence as well, by the way? Who are you convincing?
I think so. In 2025, Empires of Man and High Elves are coming in some point in the entire year.
Yeah. Oh, also, Unboxes Heroes plastic metal resin.
Yeah,
Like-
we're going to continue to produce models in the plastic, metal, and resin that we already do.
These 3 words here are, we need to fill out some space because it looks a bit sparse. Like, what do Games Workshop make? Models. What do they use? Plastic, metal, and resin. So what we're going to do on our roadmap is, right, plastic, metal, resin. What the fuck were you thinking? What were you thinking? When did you think that was acceptable? It's to God. It's horrific, Joe. It's so bad. Oh my lord, the layout shit.
Like, the thing is, though, like,
Fuck. If you agree with everything you said, chat, there's 594 people watching right now. If you agree with everything we just said, gift us a membership.
or just like it.
If you gift one membership, all of you, all 594, 600 people right now, if everyone gifts a single
But it's
membership, we'll hit our target of
But
100.
this is what the thing that
That's how maths works.
The thing that makes this so bad, right, is that the roadmaps that used to exist were terrible, but somehow better than this,
I know!
right?
I know!
Right, but like we used to have. They used to go. The next 6 books coming are this, right? And they're going to vaguely arrive in the next 8 months. So you go, cool. The faction I play isn't going to be in the spring. It's going to be in. It's going to be in the summer. So I know there's like a 4-month gap where it's probably going to be. I might be able to save some money now, or I know that army's coming in spring. I can buy that army, and I know I have enough money for when my army gets released. You know, you could kind of like go, cool. But just saying, like, what did you sell? Models with swords?
We have seen some shit over the course of the last, I don't know, 12 months plus, right? Probably longer. In fact, you know, the majority of people that are watching right now are obviously Games Workshop people, clearly, okay? I think that for the majority of us, we're pretty invested in Warhammer in general, whether that be 40k AOS, Old World, Heresy, whatever it might be. And we know, we all know this, let's be honest with you, and if GW are still watching, which they probably aren't by now, but if they are still watching, they're probably aware, they often do things that people laugh about and that take the piss a little bit and that aren't, you know, widely regarded as good.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. I will add a caveat that I don't run a multi-billion-pound business that's on the fucking footsie. I don't run that business. I don't know how they operate. I don't know what their constraints are. I don't know what their operating parameters are. There's a lot of stuff that I criticise where actually I wouldn't mind betting if they took me into Games Workshop and said this is why we can't do that. I'd probably like, oh, actually that makes sense. That's probably quite commonplace. I have no doubt whatsoever. And they are not necessarily well renowned for doing a good job when it comes to releases, reveals, etc. That being said, I think my personal honest opinion is that this is one of the most embarrassing things they've ever done in terms of specifically the roadmaps, right? Yeah. So no 40k model releases for a big reveal show, cool, fine, whatever. No Heresy model reveals, cool, fine. The AOS model reveals are beautiful. Yes, okay, the reveal show is a bit flat and boring. I asked them to go to pre-recorded. I regret that decision. Not that it was my choice, obviously, but I regret that decision because I think it's more boring than it was before. The 4 roadmaps that they put out there are fucking embarrassing. I really, really hope that I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, hope they sit around a table at some point, either today, tomorrow, or Monday, and go, "We fucked up. That was bad.
Yeah.
We've done a really bad job there."
Yeah.
They're never going to come out and say that to us.
The thing is, I earlier compared them to Disney, right?
Yep.
Which was unfair on Disney, because Disney, you know what the next Marvel and Star Wars projects are going to be for the next 5 years.
Brian says GW doesn't want to give us roadmaps. That's fine. So don't give us anything.
It doesn't want to give us roadmaps because it doesn't want people to have an informed spending idea. Because if you don't know what's coming, you're more likely to spend your money on what you know already exists.
Maybe. I would. There's a counterpoint to that as well, though.
Yeah.
If you are a person who can only afford an army, but you knew that where are we on now? We're in August. If you knew in September your main, so say you played Eldar and you played Guard, right? And you knew that September Guard was coming, and you knew that then March next year Eldar was coming. Well, actually, I can do both.
Yeah.
I can. So then you wouldn't have the Guard come out and be like, well, I don't know when the Eldar's coming. I might wait.
Yeah. Well, the roadmap would have been better, right? If they'd gone Empire of Man, High Elves, Wood Elves, I don't know, Undead, I know they're going to be there, Skaven, Dark Elves, right? They didn't give you a date, but they gave you the order they were going to be released in. You know, if they went like Guard, Eldar, Knights, Chaos Knights, Emperor's Children, World Eaters, Death Guard, entirely re-released Mechanicum book, you know? Like, but it just said, like, they're coming in this order next year. We're not going to tell you when, but they're coming in this order.
Jeffer says they don't want to do roadmaps because it makes them accountable. Well, that stinks of a bigger business problem.
Yeah.
If their fucking business is so volatile that they don't want to make any kind of loose time frame promising simply because they're worried that they won't be able to fulfill that, then you need to look at your business practice. You need to look at how your business works. Because that's not fucking good enough.
No.
Because they're, as a company, as a massive company that makes a lot of money, they will have people that do a lot of forecasting. And they'll do revenue forecasting, and they'll do finance forecasting, they'll do accountancy forecasting, etc. The only way they can legitimately do that kind of forecasting is by estimating things like sales and sales growth. And the only way they can do that is by knowing when things are coming and when things are going to be released. I would argue that if not doing a roadmap, because it makes them accountable, they might miss their deadlines, because they're so volatile, they've got a bigger business problem, because then they can't forecast correctly. So either they can forecast correctly, they don't want to share it with us, or they're actually having problems with that as well. Yeah. We're also talking about a company, when we talk about forecasting correctly, that has year on year on year made more and more and more profit whilst continuing to put our prices up.
Yeah.
They're getting... We've got 20 minutes, Joe. Should we talk to chat?
Yeah, we can talk to them.
By the way, if there's 580 people, we've had up to 600 people watching today, which is incredible. Thank you so much for coming and joining us on the Liam and Joe Show. You're amazing. If you're new here and you haven't already, please make sure you smash that subscribe button for us. I've pressed it a few times. If we can get 400 or 500 likes on the stream, that's amazing. Helps the algorithm, and it's completely free if you do enjoy the ranting. Also, when we're being happy and positive, where are you then? Come and hang out then as well.
Nevergo says, by not providing roadmaps, Games Workshop think they're being secretive, but simply come across as dishonest to the player.
I agree. I strongly agree, Kev. Absolutely. But we do the Liam and Joe Show every Tuesday and Thursday at 13:30 here in the studio. We do live games Tuesday nights for AOS, Thursday nights for 40k, and then Wednesdays and Mondays I'm live at 7:30 in the evening for a hobby show or a sit and talk hobby show, and then Fridays we're normally live with a drink alcohol and chat absolute bollocks. I had a little rant last night actually about tips. Tipping people. I ordered Domino's and they were asking me for a tip for the driver before he even turned up.
I had an Indian last night, and as I was paying, it asked me to pay for a tip.
Tip the driver?
No, just pay them a tip. I've not received the food yet.
Exactly.
I'm not like. I don't know if like.
I'm happy I can't relate to you.
Yeah, it's like you. It's like I was like, if you're late. It says you're going to be here for 45 minutes. If you're here an hour, do I get my tip back? If the food is terrible, do I get my tip back? Right?
Yeah.
Right. What's mad is that it came really quickly and it was fucking incredible. And then there should be an option afterwards. Do you want to tip us?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yeah, I'll tip you because that's fucking great, right?
It's getting busy now. So we need to start, Jay.
You know the Domino's tracker?
Yeah.
Right. Part of that tracker at the end should be, did you enjoy your meal?
Yeah. Well, they asked me if I wanted to tip the driver. I was like, he hasn't delivered it yet.
Yeah.
And then he turned up on a bike and it was lukewarm. I was like, no, you're not getting a fucking tip.
Yeah.
Also, you pay him to be a driver.
Yeah.
What am I tipping him for? Doing his job? Anywho, right.
I'm going to let you start this. I need to go for an angry wee.
Are you going for an angry wee?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did we get to? Oh, we haven't done any.
We haven't done it yet. You wouldn't even let us start. You were so rude.
Sam Deaky says, Joe's ill. He's not mentioned it. Poor Joe. He's doing all right, to be fair. I was worried about him on Tuesday because it's an hour for him to get here. We did a full day with Peachy. It's an hour for him to get home. And I was worried about him. He got home at like 1:15 though, and he was like, I was actually very glad to have the day because he'd spent 2 weeks not here, not doing Warhammer, and he spent a week of that being incredibly unwell at home, sat on the sofa watching telly. So I'll let him have his moment saying he's ill, Sam, just because he's here and he's back and he's happy. Thank you anyway for the tea, dude. Brandon, thank you for the tea. Breaking news, GW just sells stuff and things. That's what the roadmap says, right? That's exactly what the roadmap says. Can we please acknowledge the reveal a new Krieg is coming but didn't put it on the roadmap? Like, this is baffling. Well, they put Astra Militarum on the roadmap, Carcassy, right? They put Astra Militarum on the roadmap, and that with a Krieg image, and they said that the Krieg are coming. So they have Krieg won't get their own codex. It will come out in the Astra Militarum codex. But we can acknowledge that because I'm fucking excited for that at least. Rambo, thank you for the 5. Bet you 6.5k that Eldar comes up broke as shit. We've touched on that. I don't disagree with you, I'm afraid. Thanks for the 5 they do. Dreadnought, thank you for the 5. So what will the single new character on foot for Imperial Knights be? Also, since when is the roadmap focused on the effing past? Well, we've covered that, I think. But yes, at least half the page on both of those roadmaps, absolute fucking nonsense. I'm interested to see what they do with Imperial Knights, because I don't think they need more knights. I don't think that's a thing that they need. I'd like to see, for Imperial Knights, I'd like to see foot infantry, like Solar Auxilia style foot infantry, to be like, or Scutari type foot infantry. I also think that, for me personally, Knights should have been reintegrated with AdMech, but hey, until watching you guys, I thought I was the only mad lad who draped the chair in animal skins. Ethically sourced animal skins, but animal skins nonetheless, okay? Thanks for the 5, dude. Stick my thing for the 5. This is what happens when a business is run like a 1980s financial institution. There's no attempt to learn new theories of management since. Yes, agree.
I'm dead now.
They are big business with small business mentality, and they have morons in charge. That's evident, I think. I think Games Workshop, I think if you took Games Workshop in general and you went to the wider worlds and you said, hey, this is how a company works, how it operates and how they manage, and this is the money that they're making, I think the majority of the normal business world will be like, how does this make any sense?
Yeah.
How is this working?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see like the maybe we'll see like the Armored Moiraxes or something turn into plastic kits. That'd be cool.
I would like to see the. So what's interesting is Games Workshop is Forge World is turning a lot of their resin kits into plastic, like for Horus Heresy. What Scutari used to have was Secutari and the Peltas, which are like spear and shield guys who, lore-wise, Games Workshop doesn't give a shit about lore anyway, so it doesn't matter. Lore-wise, Secutari are the foot troops for the Titan Legion. Knights aren't part of the Titan Legion; they're entirely separate entity. But something like that.
Well, I mean, Knights aren't part of the Titan Legions; they're entirely separate entity right now. It's Games Workshop's lore. They can do what they fucking want. They can change it to make it work, so they can give the codex more options.
They've released books like in the last year about how like knights are their own kind of feudal. But then like at the same time, the armies that guard the stronghold of the knights, they do have their own kind of like feudal troops.
You do, yeah.
Like their own militia.
I think like militia, foot troop militia, battle line type stuff. I mean, maybe we'll see things like I said, Moiraxes turning in plastic with like the lightning guns and stuff.
I would like
cool.
to see. You know how a lot of people converted the Empire State Troopers into like having like Scutari long rifles and stuff.
Yeah.
An actual proper designed like Empire State Trooper, but steampunked up.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think Games Workshop could do a good job of that.
I'll be into that.
I'll
be into that. Okay, thank you so much, Sean, anyway, for the 5, dude. Crumpets Panel, thank you for the 10. C is for complete lack of new info. U is for unbelievable stupidity. N is for not being consistent to previous standards. T is for trashy bollocks FOMO practices. What does that spell? Games Workshop. That is an incredible 10. Incredible super chat. Thanks for the 10, dude. Yes. Aaron, thank you for the 10. At least the last Heresy roadmap told you what was in the pipeline, although it didn't say what the characters or units were. We could still speculate what could be. The Heresy roadmap was a fucking embarrassment.
Yeah.
But then at least it didn't say metal, resin, plastic. Yeah. That is fucking horrific.
Just go models.
Tanks.
Yeah.
We didn't tell you what we're going to make them in. Tanks.
Yeah.
Templar, thank you for the 2. The issue with everything is simplified, not simple. Even their roadmaps, simplified.
Yeah.
We're selling you models. That's it. This is what I was talking about earlier. When I was talking about Lawrence and Tabletop Tactics, if you haven't seen it, when the stream finishes, I urge every single one of you to log into your Instagram account, go and find Tabletop Tactics.
They did post it on Facebook as well.
Did they post it on Facebook as well? Look at the post. I shared it on my story, so if you can't find it, I shared it on my Instagram story. It is... I saw that and laughed out loud. It is one of the greatest Instagram posts after something like this I've ever fucking seen. It is phenomenal. I'm just angry we didn't think of it first. It's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so. Whoever spent their morning making that and posting it on social media deserves a bonus. Honestly, it's fucking incredible. I laugh so hard. Jaffe Barrow, thank you for the 5. The new Stormcast models are incredible. Also wish Games Workshop would slow down with the quantity, improve quality, especially with 40k both rules and models. The interesting thing, so I both agree and disagree, right? The interesting thing with that is that the AOS team doesn't seem to be having a problem with the pace and keeping the quality up, right? They've got lots of quantity, high quality. GW's 40k team seems to be having that issue. That being said, I don't think we're ever going to see them slow down the pace whilst they're doing 3-year editions. I stand by the fact I want 5-year editions. I don't want 3-year editions. I want 5-year editions. I think you go year 1, here's what I would do. If I was Games Workshop, here's what I would do. It probably makes me less money, but here's what I would do, right? Year 1, 40k, new edition of 40k.
Yeah.
Year 2, new edition of Age of Sigmar. Year 3, new edition of Horus Heresy. Year 4, new edition of Old World. Year 5, new edition of Specialist Game of your choice.
Yeah.
Middle-earth or Kill Team or Warcry. Maybe you can do 2.
You could do, yeah.
You could do 2 or 3 at the same
do
time.
all of them.
And then you go back to year 6, back to 40k. You've had a 5-year cycle.
Yeah.
That slows everything down, calms it down a little bit.
Yeah, I think in the 3-year cycle, they need to release all codexes in the first year. So then the second year is their rules fixing kind of balancing period, and then but also halfway through the second year, they start writing the new edition. Because the final year of the edition is the best year, because it's all fixed, it's all balanced, it's all going well. Here's a bunch of campaigns, here's a bunch of new missions, and then when you go into the new edition, you've learnt everything, and you've gone, here's the small changes we're going to make.
Yeah.
Right? And then it means that, like, when you go after your, and then they go, these are small changes. We don't have to update the codexes, but we might re-release something that's not quite worked. And then when you index it again, you've had 6 whole years of learning.
Yeah.
I
think we need to slow the pace down slightly. I do. I think we need to longer editions for people to feel value for money. I think the one time you may see me rant even louder than we have recently is when they drop a codex and then 2 months later fucking drop a new edition.
Well, they used to index. They've now indexed every
6 years.
Every 6 years.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of indexing every 6 years, because I loved 9th edition, it just needed a few changes.
Well, Mikey says this on the saga that's currently live to Skull tier members and above.
Yeah.
Mikey said this. He said, "What's the best things about 10th edition?" Most people have said the best thing about 10th edition is the mission pack and the way that you write your lists now. Could you use those 2 things and use the 9th edition rule set? Yes, you could.
Yeah.
You absolutely could.
10th edition is just a change for change's sake.
Yeah. So we did, Rambo, I did, yes. I've read your super chat, Rambo, don't you worry. Stick Monkey, thank you for the 2. I'd argue that Joe is the angriest man, not Seth. You were getting pretty angry then. You were getting pretty angry.
Like I said, I'm passionate about Warhammer, and sometimes it bugs me, much like the change of 9th to 10th edition, where it's change for change's sake. They didn't need to get rid of Zeph
I agree.
at all.
Yep.
They've added a bunch of pointless shit that doesn't need to be there. They've created loads of work for themselves, because if you keep Zeph in, do you know what you have to balance? Zeph.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to balance, right? When you bring in Blood Angels captain, Death Company captain with jump pack, what you're now doing is you're not just balancing 3 captains, you're balancing 9.
But here's the thing as well,
each.
right? Here's the thing, and this for me is fundamentally a problem with the absolute fucking nonsense that is some of what they've done in 10th edition.
Yeah.
Why do you need a data sheet that says Death Company Captain and then a second data sheet that says Death Company Captain with jump pack?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you have Death Company Captain? Not that I think we should have a Death Company Captain, but Death Company Captain, he's 100 points as a captain or 130 points if he has a jump pack.
Yeah, give him a split points profile. Because they have got given split points profiles for other stuff.
Just all we need to do. Death Company Captain, 100 points. Death Company Captain, move changes to 12, gains fly, gains 30 points.
Yeah.
But this is because of this new... I disagree with Mikey. I don't like the new list building mechanic and the fact that points are no longer granular. I'm aware that a lot of people do think it's good, and I'm aware that sometimes I'm outnumbered on that one. This is just a personal preference. But the fact that you have 2 different data sheets, one for with jump pack, one for without, for me, is a part of the problem. Yeah. And no wonder the Space Marine Codex is about that fucking thick.
Yeah.
Thank you anyway, dude, for the 2. You're a legend. Carl thank you for the 5. My vote is burn it down, claim the money and start again. No logic, no sense, no planning, no care, nor consideration. Long live the AOS team. The AOS team are pissing all over them.
Yeah.
They just are. We did stick Monkeys 5 and Will's 10. Then we go on to, I think everything else hasn't been done. Yeah, okay, so Tank Then Knowing, thank you for the 5. Hellstorm pairings are out. First opponent is apparently on a stag do and has a list entirely of characters. Robuto, Marnius, 9 captains, plus chaplains and Phobos lieutenants.
Hero.
What a fucking legend. Yeah. That sounds incredibly Tank. Can't wait to see you at the weekend, mate. Travis, thank you for the 5. You should call the stream 2 old men yelling at clouds. Remember, GW just wants your money. We keep buying, they keep making. This is what I'm talking about, it being a business that is baffling to everybody else.
I don't have an issue with them being a company that wants my money. It's the fact that, like, it's a company that literally is at war within itself. Because the Age of Sigmar team is doing such an incredible fucking job.
On the whole, yeah, they are.
Like, they're just... Like,
tell me a foot that the AOS team... So me, the only 2 feet the AOS team have put wrong recently is... We're thinning the Stormcast out because there's too many, here's loads more, and here's a roadmap.
I don't feel like that was their decision.
No, I would agree with you. They're minimal gripes for what has otherwise been fucking phenomenal.
Honestly, I don't even think the roadmaps were designed by the individual teams. That was a job given to someone who was like, make a roadmap with as little detail as possible. That was given to a secretary or a security guard or the bathroom cleaner.
It's laid out in such a way that I think it might be the bathroom cleaner.
I feel like that was some poor bastard, right, who doesn't even work in any of the departments, going to the department and saying, can you please tell me some information? And they've gone, no. And they've slammed the door in his face. And he's gone back to his manager, and his manager's going, right, you've got the information? He's gone, no. He's like, well, we got to do the roadmap anyway.
Yeah.
And I think so. If you're like, Lord of the Rings team, knock it out of the park. Their models, doing a new edition. Kill team,
Can we talk about it for a moment, right? If you look at the detail for that new Lord of the Rings model, if they start re-releasing stuff or updating ranges for Lord of the Rings in that detail, we're doing Middle Earth.
So I watch all 3 Lord of the Rings films every day. Cinematic, not the extended. And I watched all 3. I want to do a Rohirrim army. I came here and I was like, Liam, where's the Pelennor Fields box? I want to do Lord of the Rings. But I was waiting for this announcement because I wanted them to go, new edition of Warhammer 40k, we're rescaling the 22-year-old kits, right? New Men of Minas Tirith, new Riders of Rohan, new fucking Uruk-hai.
That's how you end up with metal resin Play-Doh.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't do that. If you think about the type of people that write these kind of roadmaps, Gary, they wouldn't be able to write metal resin Play-Doh because they've all fucking eaten the Play-Doh.
Yeah, it's like I was so excited because all the teams are doing such an incredible job, but the 40k team just seems like
they're drunk. They're absolutely drunk. All the time.
There's 12 people in a room, but they're all in individual little cubbies with the door closed.
Yeah.
And the line manager just putting post-it notes under
they're like Roombas, those automatic Hoovers that have found the corner. That's what they are. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Thank you for the 5 though, dude. Kaz, thank you for the 2. Deploy the Roy Key. That's your job, GIF. But it is. This is my point, right? All they've done on the roadmaps for every single one of those roadmaps, pretty much, all they've said is in 2025 we're going to keep doing what we've already been doing without actually giving you any detail. It's embarrassing. It's just fucking embarrassing. Ian, thank you for the 10. The disconnect between lore, models, and rules is long-standing, e.g., Norns for Tyranids. It's described as an assassin in the lore, but it is a stationary bullet sponge in the game. Yep. It happens all too often, actually, unfortunately. It happens all too often. One of my biggest bugbears is when I'll add a caveat, you cannot have a custodian on a tabletop being a custodian in the lore, because a custodian player would deploy 1 model in a 2,000-point game. So you can't do that. So there's a caveat where you have to make exceptions, you have to make adjustments to make it fit a 2,000-point army that works in the game mechanics and in the missions. That being said, one of my biggest problems with 40k in general is when you read about a Carnifex peeling open a Land Raider and he walks up to it and scratches the paint.
Yeah.
I cannot stand when they are wildly different between lore and tabletop operation.
When you think like 100-point, well at the time, at 80-point, World Eater's Master of Executions was going in and one pumping Abaddon every single game.
I mean, he's still got a chance of doing it now.
He does, what happens now? Abaddon charges Master of Execution. Master of Execution swings first, murders him.
Yep.
Just like, it shouldn't be happening.
Warthunder, thank you for the 5. Why does Lamar only have 4 wounds? Does he only have 4 wounds? Does he?
Yeah.
So I think Khan has got 5.
Because
COVID brain Joe is amazing when he gets angry.
Because the rules writing team are so fucking lazy.
Tell him about your chainsaw discovery, Joe.
Right.
Tell him all about your chainsaw discovery.
Right. This is a good codex, by the way. If I argue, it's an incredible codex.
It is good. It's going to be strong.
It's very strong.
Yeah.
Right. If you're a Blood Angels player, it's a good fucking book, right? But right, Games Workshop need to stop copy and pasting and going, what did we do wrong the first time, right? So we're in an era now where Primaris doesn't exist. Games Workshop has said we fucked up with Primaris. Primaris do exist, but Space Marines are just Space Marines now. There's no Primaris captain, it's just captain, right? Because before there was Firstborn chaplain, Primaris chaplain. Now it's just chaplain, right? But that's still not reflected in the rules. Because Lamarty's was a Firstborn chaplain, which means he had 4 wounds, and a Primaris chaplain has 5.
So he's still firstborn, is what they're saying.
Yeah, he's still Firstborn, but the idea of there being chaplain and Primaris chaplain still exists, but they're not acknowledging it. Right? Astrath, I'm pretty sure hasn't gone across the Rubicon. 5 wounds.
Yeah, inconsistency.
It's just like, yeah.
So let's talk about your chainsaws. I like it when you.
I'm so right. Blood Angels captain. Pointless addition to the game. Can't join Blade Guard for a start. Right. He can either have a chainsword, power fist, relic weapon. Right. Doesn't have access to the storm shield.
Okay.
Like the normal Primaris captain, or the normal captain. He has a mastercrafted chainsword. As his right, he is a captain. He has a slightly better one. He gets 7 attacks, good. Hits on 2, strength 4, -1, 2 damage. Because he's mastercrafted in it. 7 attacks because he's a fucking loopy dude. Right? Death Company captain on foot. So his normal guy version, but angrier. 7 attacks, weapon skill 2, strength 4, -1 AP, damage 2, mastercrafted.
Mastercrafted.
Because he's a captain.
He's a captain. He's got a mastercrafted paint. He's just got any old chainsword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mastercrafted.
We're not chopping
right?
trees. We're chopping heretics.
Death Company captain with a jump pack, right? Astartes chainsword. 7 attacks, exactly the same. Hit weapon skill 2, exactly the same. Strength 4, exactly the same. -1 AP, exactly the same. 1 damage. Why? Why? It's just...
Carl, thank you for the 5. New mission, get as many of the Great Hall members into Games Workshop as possible. Save 40k aside from itself. I don't think people want to work for Games Workshop from our team, Carl, I'll be honest with you. We've got lots of in our community in general, and this is evident often in things like the Thanes WhatsApp chat, we've got a ton of incredibly intelligent, switched on people. I don't think they fit in Games Workshop.
So, working for Games Workshop now is like working for the police now. Right, I don't want to get all political, but when I was a young boy, the idea of joining the police was like, I want to join the police. It's a steam.
You want to chase people and chase baddies in fast cars?
Yeah, I want to chase baddies, like jump sideways, shooting guns, screaming "ah," you know.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if I join the police, God no.
No, sounds awful.
Sounds awful. It's an awful job.
Yeah.
Shit pay, treated like shit.
Yeah, shit pay, get spat at.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I want to go work at Games Workshop. Store managers, the floor staff, they were gods to me. They knew all the rules. They knew that the plastic Baneblade was coming out fucking years before. They knew everything to do with Games Workshop. They knew the law, they knew the models, they knew the rules. They knew all the stuff that was coming out years in advance, right? They were like some kind of biblical librarian, you know? Now, no. I go to Games Workshop store, 9 times out of 10, I'll be like, get away from me, all right? There's a great scene from Parks and Recreation where Ron Swanson, who is the best character, a carpenter, proper woodsman, does hunting. Like, so someone basically lost their wedding ring, so he basically took a sconce off the wall, melted it down, made a new wedding ring. He goes into like the equivalent of B&Q, and the staff member walks up to him and he goes, "I know more than you," and the guy just walks off. And I feel like that at Games Workshop stores now, where they come to me and they're like, "Oh, what models are you painting?" I'm like, "All of them. Leave me alone."
Yeah,
I haven't come here to buy anything.
I'll go as far as to say that the store staff in Southampton are fucking incredible, and I love them all. Yeah. But even the store manager there always laughs at me because he's like, "Don't know what I'm going to ask you because you know more than I do." I do.
Yeah. It's like people are like, they come to me like, "Oh, have you thought about buying some Space Marines?" I'm like,
"Yeah,
no."
Rod's often like, "So have you got something new to paint at home?" I'm like, "Mm-hmm." He's like, "Can you tell me?" I'm like, "Nope." No. I'm not allowed to talk to you. Yeah. You're a store manager.
What's great, right, is that the roadmap that we got now is what store managers get now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess what? Next year, you'll be selling models. Well done.
Yeah, probably. But don't worry, we will share some of our profits with you and give you a bonus. Not as much as we give shareholders, but you know. Alec-Man, thank you for the 10. I know you gave the Lord Sullivant some guff, but to use a Space Marine comparison, as loath as I am to do so, they're essentially Space Marine captains, so we kind of needed this in the Thunderstrike refresh. I mean, it's just about the fact that, hey, we're going to remove loads of data sheets because we've got too many data sheets, and here's loads more characters. That being said, that one on Griffin, I want 12 of them.
It's cool. It's really cool.
So fucking cool. So cool.
But, right, he's not a pointless character. I understand releasing plastic multi-part versions of the ones that come in the starter box set.
Oh my God, Joe.
Because some people probably didn't buy the starter box set.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, I want that model," because like...
Is that 60 members? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, people. Will Stewart, thank you for 10 more gifted.
Who?
Will Stewart.
Thank you, Will Stewart.
That's 10, that goes to 20 gifted from Will.
I hope that next time you go to like a petting zoo, right? There's like a loose pig running around, like a small one, like a piglet running around, and everyone's chasing it, and then you catch it, and you're like the hero of the day, and everyone's like, yeah. Pig catcher.
I've been to a few petting zoos with their small pigs running around.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Children.
Yeah, most people call them children nowadays. Yeah. Thank you so much, Will, for the 10 more. That puts us on 20 from Will alone.
Oh,
with a 60 total right now. Thank you. Crumpets Panda, thank you for the 5 gifted.
Thank you, Crumpets Panda. I hope you're at the zoo at the same time as Will, and when you go to leave, there's like a rogue like penguin. It's like escaped out of the back door, and you can snatch it and put it in your car.
You like animal-based ones recently? You've got one more hope to do in a minute. We'll get to that in just a second. So I'll give you a pre-warning. Yeah. Right. Travis, thank you so much for the 5. Nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative. It gets people going.
That's a reference from an incredible film called Blades of Glory.
Okay.
From the man from Anchorman, but it's also used in the
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Will Ferrell, and it's also used in the Kanye West song as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. It's
right,
great
you ready?
Film. I got the reference.
Johan Gustafsson, thank you for the 1 gifted. Evan, thank you for the 1 gifted. Dave, Blood for the Blood God, thanks for upgrading to Jarl tier. The Jarl's only giveaway is currently live in Discord. You've got until, I think it might be Friday or Saturday to enter. Tea Time with Toby, thank you for the 1 gifted. Neil, thank you for the 1 gifted. Tim Blackvale, welcome to Hasir tier. Damien the Red, thank you for the 1 gifted. Son of Olympia, thank you for the 1 gifted. Stick Monkey, thank you for the 1. Pete, thank you for the 1. Carl, thank you for the 1. Craig Bear, thank you for the 1. Dunra, thank you for the 1. JCMS Meta Monday, thank you for the 1 gifted. You people are amazing. Thank you so much. Lol Matt Bill, thank you for the 10. I really don't think they can afford not having codex come out later this year, given the length of editions. Makes the last codex have less time to play when new rules before the edition ends. 100%.
As a guard player and a World Eaters player,
yes,
100%.
I feel that pain, sir. I feel that pain, and I completely agree with you.
World Eaters came last. It was literally you had literally like 3 months of it, and then it got indexed. Ash, I do not know which Kanye West song, but I know it's in a Kanye West song.
But you are right. I completely agree with you, and it's always a feels bad moment. It was feels bad for my World Eaters last edition. You're going to feel bad for it, considering World Eaters and Guards still don't have their codex. It's like, well, are they going to get theirs?
Don't worry. When we go into the new edition in in 2 years' time, all the codexes that came out now will be so FAQ'd that they're basically toilet paper at that point.
Tea time with Toby, thank you for the 10. I'm only collecting Votan. It's been 2 years since launch. The model range is tiny and barely any lore. I'm not spending with Games Workshop until we get more models in the range. Jaegers are cool, but tied up in Kill Team. I feel like Votan do need a bigger release.
I think
they need like a whole second wave.
They need, like, they're missing... Because the problem that Votan have is they're basically firstborn Space Marines, but tougher. One wound, firstborn Space Marines. So the problem Games Workshop has is that whatever they add, they can't just make it dwarf Space Marines, because otherwise you just got two armies that do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Because Votan are arguably missing a jump unit and more variations in vehicles. But the problem is like the jump unit just becomes assault marines.
Yeah.
And then the more vehicles is just whatever Space Marines have. I guess their jump unit could be kind of like suppressors, like a jump gun unit. Would be cool instead of a jump fighter unit.
Apparently, the Kanye West song is a song that we can't say the name of because it involves rude words.
Oh.
Yeah. I hope you get Tea Time Toby. I hope you get some more. But as a World Eaters player, I also feel similar. I feel like there's a lack.
Votan should. So Gary said Votan termite drills. Votan should have access to everything that the dwarf people in Necromunda have, like the big moon buggy and the cool mining unit.
That'd be cool. Grant, thank you for the 5. As Games Workshop's 2024 accounts, they have over £500 million turnover and net profit of 151 million, 2,800 staff. You are right, the roadmaps are not good enough. They're not. Sam Deacon, thank you for 10 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Sam Deacon. I hope next time you go to a lovely country pub and you have gammon and egg with a bit of pineapple on, they come and they have to apologise to you. They only have ostrich eggs for your fried egg.
Oh, I'm into it.
So you have massive egg.
Coronal Panic, thank you for the 45 Danish.
What I've not had in ages.
The reach around?
Gammon.
Maybe AdMech was faded on the 2024 roadmap since it was released in December 2023.
What's that?
So on the 2024 40k roadmap, AdMech was faded right out, and I said it's because of the shame of the codex, and he said maybe it was faded on the 2024 roadmap since it was released in December 2023. That stinks of we haven't got enough to put on this big fucking graphic we're making. So maybe don't make a big fucking graphic. Brood Rooster Paul, thank you for the 6. Liam is actually passionately talking 40k again, and GW doesn't seem to want my money. Best roadmap in ages. I am back at being passionate about 40k, and I'm like I think the future portion of the 40k roadmap is arguably the best one, simply because it gives us some actual detail as to what's coming in terms of Eldar, Astra Militarum, and Knights. But then to say that the other thing as well is I think it's to say 2025 you're going to get those 3. Well, we're not, are we? We're going to get more. Yeah. We're going to get more than those 3. So that's you.
And they know what the 4th one's going to be, and they probably know what the 5th one's going to be.
Joe, they're already working on fucking 11th edition.
Well, I imagine after the first 3 months they probably will. But I think so. What's mad? It's like we fucking love Warhammer 40k. I love it so much. My garage is full of it. I've got a White Scars army and a Salamanders army just sat waiting to be painted. I've arguably got 2,000 points of guard waiting to be painted. I've got so much 40k. I love it so much, and I want to get I just love playing the game. And we're going away this weekend to play the game. And my hope is to get shit faced and kill stuff with Seth.
Yeah,
that's my plan for this weekend.
I'm going to get shit faced and kill stuff with the Avatar.
Yeah, so that's like.
I don't care about points. I'm going to lose 5 games. I actually probably won't play day 2 because I'll be too hungover.
I just want to have. I just want to enjoy playing the game. And the problem is that unless you specifically work with your opponent beforehand to make sure the game is fun, it's just boring.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? A Krieg release for Guard, I'm excited about. New Eldar Aspect Warriors, and a new Eldar Codex, I'm excited about. Knights, I'm less bothered about, but I do like big stompy Knights. I'm a big fan. Yeah. They're all positives. Yeah. The roadmap that showcases, however, is the embarrassing part.
Even I can't wait for it. I want to do an Eldar Bladewind, like Swordwind army. I don't care about playing with it. I want to build it. I want to paint it. I don't care if Liam plays with the army.
Just let me paint the bases.
Black, and then I'll do the stuff on top.
If I can paint the bases, so that's the same as my Eldar army, build it, paint it, go for it.
I listen to Warhammer books all the time. all the time. I love it so much.
Yeah.
And I want to have that represented on the
this-
tabletop.
But this, to be fair as well, this isn't a dig at 40k.
Yeah.
This is a dig at the whole of Games Workshop's marketing team.
Yeah.
Because all 4 roadmaps are equally shit.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
It's
I say
awful.
they're not all created completely equal. Some are slightly better than other ones in certain places, but realistically, all 4 roadmaps are dog shit.
I'm going to do, right, whether Liam allows me to or not, I'm going to run my 22 Space Marine Captain army.
Not on stream. Actually, we might do it one night for a meme.
Right, I'm going to do it, right, because that is the most lore-accurate representation of Space Marines on the table. Not captains, right? Because you go, Dante, obviously. You go 3 Space Marine captains, 3 Blood Angel Space Marine captains, 3 Jump Pack captains, 3 Death Company captains of Jump Packs, 3 Death Company captains on foot, 3 Aggressor captains, 3 Terminator captains. I think you have space for a Phobos captain in there as well, right? But what you do have there is a squad of 3 Terminators. You have a squad of 3 Assault Intercessors. You have a squad of 3 Jump Company. So what they are is it's basically movie Marines at that point. You go, that guy's not a captain, he's a sergeant, you know? That guy's just a heavy weapon guy. There's a squad of 3 Terminators. Only one's a squad leader, but they've all got captain profiles. It's Kill Team Hero Hammer at 2,000 points.
I'll play it against Custodes characters.
Yeah? Just captain off.
Yeah, we'll have a captain off. Garage, thank you for the 5. Idea for night stream: lose a unit, eat a yellow fever, Black Death.
Oh.
I think we're going to get Brom to try one, but I won't put Joe through it again. Your face, however, has been immortalised in stickers in the veins.
I've seen.
It looks amazing.
It literally, it was like someone had taken like a lemon sherbet, rubbed it in their armpit, rubbed it under their greasy 6-day unwashed ball bag, and then left it to crystallise on the side.
Yeah. Chat, we've got 35 members to go to get to 100. I've got some super chats to get through. You've got time. Stand by. Go. Grand Valentine, thank you for the 5. Joe just got it spot on. They're at war with themselves while paying 138 million to shareholders. I'm a shareholder. I didn't get 138 million.
No. No, get ready for them to say that the Amazon deal gets cancelled.
I was like, how many shares? I was like, how many shares is a lot of shares? And I looked and I was like, my number of shares is not a lot of shares.
Honestly, the people that are doomsaying the Amazon deal at the end of the year need to think about it, right? When Amazon, we were in the car driving to Dempsey Con.
We were, yeah.
Right? It was the day after they announced Henry Cavill was doing an Amazon.
I think it was the same day.
Same day?
I think it was announced whilst we were driving.
It was, yeah, all right. The fucking share price, boof,
Yep.
tripled.
My shares became worth a lot more at that point.
Yeah. And it's fucking and it's not stopped since then. It kind of plateaued a
Leveled
bit.
a bit, yeah, it's plateaued a
It's
little
gone
bit,
up and then it's kind of plateaued and it's gone up and then every time Henry Cavill mentions Warhammer on an interview, boop,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, and then oh, he goes, oh, I like playing Warhammer. Bloop. Here's a picture of Henry Cavill with a Custodes t-shirt. Bloop. Right? If they turn around at the end of the year and say that's not happening, wow!
Yeah, it's not going to not happen.
It's gonna. Amazon don't really care. Games Workshop is going to eat a lot of shit at the end of the year just to make sure that happens. They will bend over backwards to make sure it happens.
Starpoint, thank you for the 2. You know my thoughts on Middle Earth strategy, but our game, do it. I think we will. Brave Star, thank you for the 2. I was there the day Joe fell to Joe fell to the Black Rage. Absolutely. Erebus, thank you for the 10. Massively late, only just watching from the start now, but glad you're back, Joe. Hope you're feeling better. Thoughts on the lack of Seth now? Liam, keen to have spiders from this century. If I had to pick Fire Dragons, Spiders, Swooping Hawks, which are the 3 aspects we don't have plastic for, and then Dire Avengers are quite old, I would pick Spiders out of all of those.
Yeah,
I actually would love to see them go, you know what, we're not going to string this out over the next 3 editions. Here's all 3 of them in the plastic kit.
Thing is though, Dire Avengers, all they need is a plastic upgrade sprue for Guardian.
I, however, am also desperate to see a plastic Karandras to go with the Scorpions.
I'm
really desperate for that.
It blows my fucking gourd, right, that they didn't release Karandras at the same time.
Yeah.
Every single release that's had a Aspect Warrior has had its Lord at the same time.
My lord. We've almost caught up as well. They use the word sweeping. I wouldn't be against sweeping hawks. I'm okay with sweeping hawks. I just prefer the spider aesthetic.
Yeah,
But
I bet I'd be swooping hawks without wings.
Lol. The tattoos as well. I just think of the two. Great banter. Thanks, man. Scotty, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Scotty. I hope that your boss buys you gammon, egg, and chips for dinner.
We only need 7 more people in the next 5 minutes to gift 5 members to hit target.
Oh. And then will you get me gammon, egg, and chips? Oh, now I've talked to him. I've not had gammon in ages. I'm kind of salivating at the idea.
We can go out for food, but we haven't set the table up or anything yet.
meat.
We're quite behind.
We got an air fryer in there. I just go buy some gammon from Aldi.
We can go out for some food though, but we need to go somewhere quick for food.
No, it's fine. I'll just air fry a gammon.
From air frying a gammon from Aldi does not sound appealing, Joe, at all.
I mean, it would be like chewing on
an old foot
on a Primark sandal, but
yeah.
You know.
No, I don't. I'm not about that. I don't think I'm about that, mate. Thank you so much for the 5 gifts, mate. There's Disgustingly Resilient podcast. Thank you for the 2. 9 Imperium dexes, 6 Xenos dexes, 1 Chaos dex. Why? 1 Chaos dex?
Only the Chaos Space Marine. We've not had World Eaters.
We've not had 9 Imperium come out though, have we? Space Marines, Dark Angels, Blood Angels, Custodes, Guard, Sisters. Not Guard, sorry. Custodes, Admech, Sisters is 6. Imperial Agent 7. Am I missing a couple?
Not had Space Wolves.
Not at Space Wolves. Sisters. I've done Sisters, haven't I?
Yeah.
Sisters.
What's the 9?
Yeah, what's the 9? I'm not sure what the 9 is. But thank you for the 2.
Unless he is including Guard and Imperial Knights.
Yeah, well then in that case you've still got Chaos Demons, Chaos Space Marines, Thousand Suns, World Eaters, Death Guard.
Yeah,
Chaos
but those
Knights.
bits, but like they've announced those. They haven't announced
right,
the other
okay.
Chaos stuff.
Including the roadmap. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Which means Chaos players will all get theirs at the end of the edition, which sucks. Hang on, I said Bonesaw is ready. Thank you for the 5. Is it bad? I'm kind of hoping the Amazon deal dies. I'd rather a show not happen than 40k get Rings of Powered. I would rather it didn't happen than it got Rings of Powered, but I would also rather it got Fallouted.
I want it to come out. I've had a lot of lying down time recently. I won't go into it.
That was before COVID.
And I've watched a lot of TV last week.
Yeah,
a lot of TV. Yeah, but that's on my phone.
Okay.
Or tablet, or projector on the side of my house.
Yeah.
Right. I think the best thing that can happen to an Amazon deal is it gets animated.
No.
Because...
We're going to disagree here, okay.
Right. If it becomes animated, because I think unless it has a big enough budget, right, it might just look a bit shit. Right. Whereas in animation, you can have Space Marines like running around doing cool demonic things. The reason Fallout worked so well is the complete lack of CGI that was required.
Yeah.
In that, because it was all practical effects.
Ash says, is it really sad that you need to cock up this much to get 500 viewers in the stream? I mean, so as a quick pause for Joe, I've said this loads, right? This is what, when I say to people about how you can understand how certain channels out there get addicted to making negative content or ranty content or anti-GW content, you can see why, right? We have sat in the evening streams for the longest time, about 150 to 200 people. On the Liam and Joe show for 200 to 250 people, we say, what the fuck is this? And put a picture of a roadmap, no other detail in the stream title, no other detail on the thumbnail. We peaked at over 600 today. Yeah. And you can see how it can be addictive. If people want less negativity, tune in all the time.
Yeah. Or if you're gonna go live with 40k, it has to have as few practical effects, as few CGI as possible. You want like a Walking Dead, you want a Fallout kind of thing, right? So you want Imperium Inquisitor or Imperial Guard fighting like a plague, maybe 1 or 2 Space Marines involved, like to start it off. Like,
yeah, maybe.
Really,
I don't know.
To kind of really like soft ball it in. You know?
I think looking at some of the animation stuff that exists nowadays in terms of live, in terms of the graphical representation you get in some of the big films,
Yeah.
you get in Marvel films, etc. I think they can do it. The budget's the important part. If you do it cheaply so it looks terrible, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
I am going to go on a limb here. I'm aware a lot of people watch a lot of animation. I don't like animated content.
Yeah.
If I'm watching a cartoon like South Park, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I don't like all of the animated 40K stuff. I'm like, it's cool for a trailer for a new box or something sweet.
Yeah.
But to watch it as a serious program, I can't connect with
Yeah,
it.
because the thing is, like, I've watched all the Castlevania. I watched all of Vox Machina. I'm really excited for the War of the Rohirrim that's coming out. I watched, but then I watched the Daryl Dixon series and like the ones who survived, the Rick and Michonne series, right? Both great series. No CGI, all practical effects kind of thing.
Game says, I've just never seen this channel from recommendation. Well, welcome, dude. Thank you for joining us.
I think the less CGI is the best way to go, and I think they have to play it really safe.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to happen. Right. There's no stopping this train. Games Workshop won't let it not happen. Right, Amazon's got that cool little animation on there now.
Also, there's a lot of stuff that you see from other channels out there that are being super negative.
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe a lot of what they put on there. It's a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
It's locked down at the moment. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so I think, it's gonna happen, but much like Codex releases, we're all fucking terrified
Yeah.
because the problem with Amazon, much like Games Workshop, it produces a lot of shit, but it also produces a lot of very good programs as well.
Yeah.
Right? You've got War of the Ring, but you've got The Boys, right? You've got
The Boys is incredible.
It's incredible,
Oh, I love The Boys.
right? You've got the Jack Reacher. Well, we've also got Jack Ryan as well. Like you've got like the Star Wars programs. You've got South Park. You've got Vox Machina. You've got great shows on Amazon. But it's scary because it just depends on what producer it gets handed
Yeah.
to.
Bye, Big Daddy. Thank you for the 1 gifted membership. Tom and Toby, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Toby.
That's 71. We're going to end on 4 less than last night. Sad face.
I hope, Toby, next time you buy some shoes off the internet, they come and they fit perfectly.
Oh.
I hate returning clothes to get like a different size.
I'm terrible at returning anything.
Yeah.
Luce gets really narky with me because she's like, no, it doesn't fit you. It's not the right size. Return it. I'm like, So she basically became my returns person.
Yeah.
Because I'd order it from Amazon or whatever, and I ordered something that was broken, and she's like, what are you going to do? I was like, I'll just order another one and it'll come fixed. And she's like, yeah, but you need to return this one because it's broken. And I was like, yeah, but it's a pain. Faff. Wasn't that expensive. It was like a few quid. And she's like, I don't care if it's £1.50, I'm returning it.
Clothes, I'm like, charity shop.
Yeah.
Off it goes.
Yeah, I tried. Thanks, man, for the 1 gifted anyway. It's amazing that you gift. The gifting train has not been...
What have you done? Done the thing again?
Yeah, they can't. They can still hear us at the moment. Because we use it. Yeah, it's just going to get the noise.
Oh, it's when you go into the...
When I go to the pre-stream, it means I went to press the button again. I went to pick up my phone and I pressed the button again with my finger because I've got fat fingers. Just to move this out of the way.
Yeah.
Just for Will to gift a single membership. Thank you so much, Will.
Thank you, Will.
For the 1 gifted.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That was an accident.
Yeah.
I'm going to get abuse in chat now.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
There's a delay.
What should we do? What should we do for dinner? Should we go get some dinner somewhere?
I want meat. Much like those creatures of questionable affection that walk up and down the road. Just want meat.
Nice to see it didn't start until what? Yeah, it's still broken. No, it wasn't. It's fine. Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah. And no, anyway, this book, by the way, thank you Games Workshop for sending to us. So we are going to play it tonight.
We are going to play it tonight.
I am going to run
22 captains.
I'm not going to run 22 captains, although now I'm kind of feel like I've probably got the models I probably could. But I don't have Lamartis, I don't have Astrath because I was away. Right, I'm not going to tell you why. I was away. I don't have Dante because that's in Paddy's house because I gave it to him ages ago and he's not brought it back. And I wasn't expecting Seth to go. Seth will be on the table though, just a less good version
Just take him as Dante.
I'm not going to take him as Dante yet, because I don't want to change the model until after.
Don't change him. Why did you change the model? He's quite a tall. You made him quite a tall model anyway.
Yeah, but all my Sanguinary Guard are on tiny bases.
Right.
They're on 40mm bases now.
Okay. So we'll just run them on tiny bases.
My Sanguinary Guard don't have wings, so
just run them on 32mm. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're a fun channel, Joe.
I know, but there is a good build for. So if you run him as the less good version of a Primaris captain, right? I'm not going to run him with the chainsword. I'm going to run him with the. He's got a relic weapon because it's a big relic eviscerator chainsword, right? So you get 6 attacks at strength 5 -2 damage, and then he can do the finest hour, best day ever, right? Where he gets an extra 3 attacks and gets devastating wounds.
It's not as good as Dante, though.
No, it's not as good as Dante.
No.
But that means he goes up to 9 attacks. Because he's a Blood Angel when he's charging, he goes up to 10 attacks. And then there's a stratagem called Savage Echoes for 1 CP, where if you just allow yourself to become battle shocked, you get +1 strength and attacks. So then he goes up to 11 attacks. No? He goes up to 11 attacks. And then you give him Rage Fueled Warrior, where once per battle, which is bullshit, by the way, once per battle, he gets sustained hits 3. So he goes loopy for 1 turn.
Bone, sorry for anything for the 5. From a business perspective, do you think it's possible they delayed the codexes to rewrite with 10.5, given how arse Admech and DA starting work? No.
Tox Trio, strength 6 -2, 2 damage. Is a first.
I don't think there's a 10.5 edition coming. I think the edition's the edition until we get 11th.
I think Games Workshop is going to ride the wave. Right, so I had a theory, or have a theory, right? Games Workshop is getting a lot of stick at the moment.
Sean, don't.
Games Workshop is getting a lot of stick at the moment, right? And they're not stupid. They appear to be, but they're not stupid enough that they're going to ignore what's happening in the world around them, right? So what's going to happen is there's going to be some internal course corrections, right? Like people got upset with Stu Black. Stu Black is no longer part of the department where people give him shit.
Well, he was on the video yesterday.
They're limited.
This edition will not be remembered fondly, I agree.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is like some of the models that have been getting a lot of stick, right? I like the new Sanguinary Guard. They're not what I were hoping, but it could have been worse. There could have been Cotiers, right? A lot of really bad models are coming out, and Games Workshop was going, maybe we should probably be a bit more strict. But the thing is that Games Workshop works 2 years ahead. So the changes that we're complaining about now aren't going to be seen for at least a year. But the thing is, though, we've got at least a year of shit, right?
Difference between Blood Angels and always Ultra Tampons, always have wings.
Yeah.
By 10.5, I meant prior with Data Slate, it was a massive enough changes that if I'm being charitable, maybe the codexes all needed a rewrite. Maybe.
I think what they need to do is go all previous codexes now are free on the app.
But they're just not going to do that.
They're not
a charitable company.
They're not going to do it. But the problem is, right, they're going to be at a stage within the next 6 months where people aren't going to buy. Right, so pretend this is the Space Marine Codex, right? Yeah. Space Marine Codex has been out for 9 months-ish, right? The only reason you buy the Codex is for the code, because the Codex is fundamentally useless. If you're an Admech player, right, that codex has been out for 6 months, you don't buy the Codex. If you go, I want to collect Admech, what happens is you don't buy the book. You don't get the app. You just use a third-party app that gives you all the rules that currently exist, e.g. Battlescribe. Because there's no reason. So Games Workshop will get to a point where people aren't buying the codexes.
I find it ironic and hilarious at the same time that the 40k app, including the list builder, seemed to be fundamentally a thing that could have just killed Battlescribe completely, right? Could have been. And then they went, I'm sorry, we have made an actually pretty good app On the whole, especially now, right?
The app
We've made
is
a pretty
good.
good app. Yeah. We've done a pretty good job. But what we are is we're monumentally greedy cunts. So we're going to charge you a load of money for it. Instantly, Battlescribe is going, we're still free, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to make you buy a codex that you have to put in the app, and the codex will be, and people go, I'll just use Battlescribe. I'll just use Battlescribe because it will update. It'll be up to date. That's the thing, right? So, hey. Anyway, Ash says, please just take old Seth at old points, be happy. I'd love to say yes, he can do that, but we play the latest version of the game always because it's better for content. So I've said to Joe, I've categorically said to Joe, if you want to run Seth using Dante's datasheet, so he's your chapter master, I'm okay with that. That's fine. Joe Seth's on a tool base, so he stands up as in like he's almost in like a fly-y position. I don't want you to stick a jump pack on him. I don't think you need to.
No.
I'll be like, just use him as he is, put him with Sandguards, leave him as Seth. Maybe you paint 3 Sandguard and Flesh Terrors colours, and they become Seth's personal bodyguard, right? Do that. That's fine. Keep using Seth. We'll call him Seth. And if anyone asks any questions, we're using Dante's datasheet. All right?
The other way.
You could also just use him as Mephiston.
I was going to say I could use him as Mephiston.
Lone op fights first, off he goes.
Yeah.
Murdering people. Use him as Mephiston, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't mind. Because I don't think it's fair that Seth, who's still alive very much so in the lore, now doesn't have a data sheet. But hey. Anyway, we are well over. We're literally 40 minutes over schedule, but I think it was a good conversation. I think it was a good chat with you lot, and there was a lot of people watching, so thank you so much for everybody who's come and watched. If you haven't already and you enjoyed the stream, please make sure you smash that like button. I think we were close to 400 likes. We only got 72 members. You are 28 behind. I have to add that onto your tax this evening now, chat, for the Blood Angels game. But we are playing Blood Angels tonight, and they are taking on the Orcs. Brom's bringing the Orcs. Orcs versus Blood Angels. Yep. I'm running the deck. I'm very excited to see how Blood Angels go. I'm very excited about Blood Angels in general. So come and check it out at 7:30 tonight. And you can drop all your yogurt for the rest of August because there's no stream tomorrow because Joe and myself and Paddy will be driving up to Sheffield. And at some point tomorrow evening when we get to Sheffield and we've had some dinner, we'll be going to a pub and I'll go into Discord and I'll announce what pub we're in so that all of you that are coming to the Great Hall event hosted by Helston Wargaming can come and find us in the pub and have a beer and chill out for the evening. Sound good?
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Do you know the thing that makes me the happiest right now? You're setting up the table. I didn't realise how much I hated setting up tables.
You did an all right job though when I was away. I saw your hilly tree one that you played. Paddy with the towers and stuff.
Yeah, I think we did okay.
You did a good job.
It wasn't great. I think we did okay.
Yeah.
Yours are better. So you get a Joe table tonight as well. Beautiful.
I'm gonna phone it in.
We need to work out what we're gonna do for food. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tonight or in the next one.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.